What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is time for your Sapphire playoff finals, season 8. God, I can't speak. I am here joined with the two people that I think I shouldn't have grabbed considering the circumstances, but we're going to do it anyway. I've got Piper to my left. I've got Doge to my right. And the reason I say that is obviously I'm the GM of Havana. Doge, you're the GM of San Diego. Piper, you have very strong connections to San Diego. I have surrounded myself with the fucking enemy right now. This is not good. Oh my god. How are you two doing tonight?
I'm
Ready
freaking
for it.
great. Yeah, we're ready for it. Ready
Yeah.
for a SDA win, basically.
Well, this is
You know it.
interesting. I mean, like, again, I've surrounded myself with the enemy. I mean, no. All right. We can clearly tell you guys are some big SDA supporters, so let's talk about them first. Let's look at this roster, and Doge, I am going to go again on public Twitch television and out myself because I talked to you specifically after the draft. We drafted a little bit together in the same VC, and I fully was talking to you like, I don't know, man. There's not a lot of flexibility. If you lose a member one week, you're going to be down. And since then, I have said fully that I apologize because you guys ran through Sapphire, ending up with the #1 seed. So when you look at the roster that you put together and you've helped play on, what are your big standouts?
I mean, obviously, as was announced last night, Ditto and Luna being just huge players. Both of them getting the roll stars and everything. Ditto being a dominant force on the tank. Luna just running it down on the damage, especially that Tracer. So,
Pretty good.
happy with the team I was able to build.
So then, looking at how well your team did, you're right. We did see the All-Stars last night, and we saw not only did, Ditto and Luna both get it, Luna also getting the MVP, but Eli and Veritas also getting the support All-Stars. So when you look at those things, you expect all of those players to, really pop off, really have their moments. Piper, I want to talk to you about some of the players that I don't think are getting enough attention, and I think you'll agree with me. Talk to me a little bit about Zeke filling in for that second DPS then on this team.
I think that Zeke has really grown as a player. He entered the league a little bit before me, playing, ironically enough, subbing with you guys on Pit.
Shout out Season 5 Pit. That was a good
Right.
team.
Shout out Season 5 Pit. I wasn't here, so I don't know. But anywho, since then I feel like he's really grown as a player. He's really kind of flexed out into these different roles. He has been loving the Freya, which I feel has been a pretty dominant force in Sapphire in general. He's very confident on it, and I love to watch him play, and I don't like to play against him. I shouldn't say that, but I like to watch him run the other people down.
That is very fair. You mentioned the Freya. I want to shout out his Cassidy. We see his Freya a lot, but I think his Cassidy has been one of his more improved heroes over, like you said, the multitude of seasons that he's been here now. Starting out, he was the Reaper one trick. Now he's got the Freya in the back pocket. He's got the Cassidy in the back pocket. You can't really keep the man down, but overall for this San Diego Armada team, it is a very well put together team. I said earlier, I think my issues initially were that you didn't have much flexibility in terms of if you ever went down a player. And I think if you look at the schedule, you did see that a little bit. You saw that, a couple of games, you lost a player and had a sub in. The only one that really comes to mind is that Jersey game where you guys were down 2, had to get a sub. And again, in a very close fashion, it was a 3-2, but you ended up losing. With a full strength roster, this team is cracked. But they do have to play against the second best team. And it's funny because now I get to make you two talk good things about my team. We get to talk about Havana. And one of the first things I want to talk about is how I was on this team for a solid 1 week before I had to push myself out to get Ruby. And since then, these guys have been on an absolute freaking tear. The big things I want to note for this team is that while, yes, we ended up second seed, this is not cope. This is not anything more. Just saying, if you look at the schedule, we had to FF 2 of our games. Once because we 3-0'd Washington and accidentally put in a player that we weren't allowed to. So it made it a 3-2. And then we couldn't schedule with New York 1 week, so we had to FF that game. So in reality, we only lost one match. That match being to San Diego. But talking still about this roster, I do want to get into it. Having a look at a mix of familiar players at this point and then some newbies here. Where do you guys see as, the biggest strength on this team?
I'll let Doge take that.
Oh.
No.
Well, somebody talk.
I will say that I feel like Andrew is just a really strong force. Again, with the All-Stars last night, he was tank team 1, and that's no surprise to anyone in the league. Again, he's always been a very strong force. He's always been pretty difficult to play against, and in playing with him as well, he's very, very good about communicating exactly what he's doing, what he's planning, and such like that. So having such a strong member, especially leading a team, could be detrimental to CV or SDA. Blech, I can't English now.
Doesn't even know what team is playing. I 100% agree. I think Andrew has been a force for a while. I think I shouted it out during the All-Star chat cast. But I want to give big shout outs to both Gibbs and Mario, who throughout the season have been helping Andrew kind of with some more intel and positioning himself a little bit more. But Doge, looking at this roster, where do you see the underdog? We talked to Piper about SDA's underdog. Where do you see as Havana's underdog?
Honestly, I see it probably being Bagel, Mr. Spade. He's been in the league for a few seasons now. He is the lower ranked guy on that team, and playing with him, I played with him last season, and overall just a really good player. He's got really strong DPS and support pools, so having him in there is definitely helpful. I know he hasn't gotten, if I remember right, he hasn't gotten a ton of playtime.
He's gotten some max here and there. And each time, especially in scrims, I 100% agree. I think he is awesome, not only in terms of being able to fill and flex where needed, but he is just a great personality to have on the team. I think if you look at a lot of teams throughout the leagues, you're missing some of those glue guys, right? You're missing a Bowser. You're missing a Recon. And so I think Spade or Bagel is a great addition in terms of not only being able to play kind of wherever, whatever, but also just being just a great vibe within the team.
He's also got good game knowledge.
He's pretty sneaky good. And what I love is specifically him, Mario, and Gibbs. They play a lot together. Andrew's gone in there a couple times, Yellow a couple times. But you can tell this team plays together. They enjoy playing together. And I know the same thing about San Diego. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these two teams clash again. Because now it's the second time. We, as Havana, want to try to get that run back. But in order to get the run back, we need some form of a score, methinks. And so with that, it might be time for the predictions. So, I have a strange feeling I know where people are going to go. But I still have to ask, because it is my job as the host. So I'm going to start with arguably the more biased option, Doge. Who do you think wins? And what's the scoreline?
Obviously, as you said, biased. I'm going to do it as SDA 4-2. Going to give Havana some points there. Give them got to give them credit where credit's due. They're a good team. They play really well. But I still think SDA's taking it.
Interesting. And now Piper, I can't imagine what you're picking.
I am actually going to echo the same sentiment that Doge said. I think that Havana is a great team. I just think that SDA has good synergy. And I think synergy, especially in a league like this, is very vital. And it'll be vital to them in the finals.
All right. So I've got San Diego to my left. I've got San Diego to my right. This is I don't know if this is what I was really looking for. But if I had to place a prediction, I think it would probably have to be Havana. And I think it will be an easy 4-0 sweep. This is about to be the easiest game I think I've ever fucking seen. No, if we're going to be real, the stupid prediction I put up says 4-0. I am going to put my, trust in Havana to do the damn thing. I do agree. It's going to be a closer game. I am leaning towards that 4-2 scoreline because what happens a lot of times in these games is you'll get a team that, you go back and forth like we saw already for the Nashville and Maui game. You'll get a lot of back and forth, but sometimes you'll just get a team that they have that momentum and are able to keep going. So I do see that happening with either San Diego or more than likely Havana. They're going to get the momentum. They're going to win 4-0 sweep. Calling it now.
Sure.
100%, not biased. But that will just about do it for us here on the desk. We do have some awesome casters coming up here in a second. Any fun final thoughts before we head into our break?
I
Go
think
SDA.
Yeah, go SDA. I
Okay.
think that it's going to be a great series to watch, and I'm excited to see it unfold.
Oh,
Sick. Well, the SDA fans will be crying when Havana wins, but you'll see that here in a couple of moments. Stay tuned for the Season 8 United Rogue Overwatch Sapphire Finals between the San Diego Armada and the Havana Hurricanes. 10 weeks. 10 long weeks of grinding. 10 long weeks of wins and losses, highs and lows, successes and failure. After these 10 long weeks, we ask what you have left in the tank. Somebody stop this man!
Looking for Grav?
And it's big.
Oh!
And the Reaper ult, the combo. Fire.
Here it
And his
comes.
cruiser's out. He gets
Oh!
3.
Because for these teams, that's what's on everybody's mind. Who still has more to give and punch their way into the championship?
And that's awesome!
He's gonna find one. He's gonna find two.
And she drops onto the Kyrie. It's a one clip to finish the kill. And that's
Oh,
2 from
yeah.
Kowsers.
If you're Big B!
Who is ready to claw their way to victory? Who is ready to give it everything they've got? Extend and play. Wait. He's gonna find one. Is he gonna find another? There's 2. The nano trick is gonna keep them. Because at the end of the day, it's show up or show out.
From Spastic.
Triple on quad!
Forward.
Oh my god, there's no way.
so huge!
This is United Rogue Season 8's Sapphire Finals.
What's going on? United Rogue. This is your Sapphire Finals. And joined here in the booth tonight, I'm here with Helios.
Hello, everyone.
And we should have a match on our hands. This is the Sapphire Finals, and the Titans of Sapphire have made it through playoffs. They made it through the regular season, and now Havana and SDA are here to duke it out.
Both of these teams, they've really proved themselves throughout this entire season. SDA was very dominant through the second half of the regular season, and they've been dominant all through playoffs. And Havana is just super good in their own right, this could unironically go to a map 7.
Absolutely. And I think that's important to know. It is a best of 7 series here. And I think a lot of teams sort of fall into this lull over the regular course of the season. You know, it's only first to 3. We've seen teams go take these games into deep matches, and it becomes an absolute slugfest. I mean, bands get burned too early, and you're in a map 7 all of a sudden. Everyone's favorite heroes on the board. Everyone's comfort picks are on the board. And I think it's going to be interesting. We're also on a new patch. I don't think anyone isn't aware.
True.
But we have brand new perks, a brand new hero, nerfs and buffs across the board. And I think that's going to shake things up. This isn't the first time we've seen a new hero added in the postseason. If we rewind...
Freya, right?
I don't even remember if it was Freya, but if we rewind all the way back to when Alari came out, we actually have the Demon season where Pittsburgh won. Pittsburgh Phantoms probably not the favored. That season was absolutely stacked. I believe Chicago had an upset loss in the playoffs because Alari got added. You've seen a lot of teams struggle to adapt to these new patches, especially so fast.
And just a reminder, every hero got at least one new perk or change. And so some got both, right? Like Ram got new perks, but he also got a reduction to the amount of armor that he gains when entering Nemesis form. So Ram is definitely is not as strong, but that's also a good thing. And the bug, I want to say the quote-unquote intended bug with the way armor was stacking with damage reduction was fixed. And so Ram is actually not an unkillable beast anymore, and you can actually kill him.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of different comps coming out here with the Ram nerf. We've seen a lot of teams from Emerald all the way up to Ruby love the Ram. I think he might still be viable, but you're right. The armor bug is fixed. His block is now on a 1-second cooldown when you toggle it. You can't just spam block whenever you want. And most importantly, I wanted to note for this matchup, Andrew is in the game, and D.Va got a new major perk that tightens the spread of her guns. And I think it's absolutely massive. I think D.Va could shake up what we see in terms of meta, especially on certain maps. I seen just a couple patches ago, Juno speedring the D.Va. She just flies onto squishies and blows them up. I think that's very much alive and something we might see here, which might be something Havana has going for them. But as I say that, let's take a look here.
Speaking
in the chat.
Of the map,
we do have a map pick coming out.
Yes, we are going to the Zhang Tower, and this is STA's map pick as they are first seed, while Havana is second. And what do we think we should ban here if you're on the side of Havana?
Like I said earlier, and you pointed out, it's a best of 7 here. You want to be smart with your bans. Luna, no doubt, an absolute menace on the Tracer. Do you want to rip that band-aid this early? I'm not.
Save it for Flashpoint. Save it for Flashpoint.
Yeah, I think you want to save that. Zeke, he's expanded his hero pool this season. We've seen some Cass out of him get a lot of value. We've seen the Freya. I still don't think you touch that. I think maybe depending on how much. Oh, never mind. It doesn't matter what I think. Andrew comes out.
We are.
And Havana is going to ban Ana.
I
think it's interesting.
You go first, and then I'll explain why I don't necessarily like this.
Yeah, I always think it's interesting. I'll always say we should keep in mind the map that we're playing on when we look at these bans. I think Ana on Control is kind of a troll ban, mostly because usually the Ana does not have the space or the protection to play on these control maps without simply just like you're just getting ran at. Then again, I do think leaving the DPS bans on the table is probably smart. Maybe this is just a protect ban. They didn't want a Lucio ban, or they didn't want one of their supports ban. They said, fuck it, we're just gonna ban Ana. I'm not certain, but I still think they could have banned something else that maybe would get a little more value.
I do agree. However, also, if this was a protect ban, why would you not ban someone like Mercy, right? Just like a worthless ban that you know they're never gonna play.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's locked. The Ana is banned, so now we're just waiting on SDA. And again, D.Va's, I think, gonna be a sleeper pick. I don't think too many people are keen on it yet. Is SDA gonna ban the D.Va outright? Just ban Andrew's D.Va. Ram has been nerfed. We know that's one of Andrew's other special characters. Not that he can't find value on it, but you start to push Andrew, I think, into some more uncomfortable situations.
And as we are speaking, we are getting a ban from San Diego, and it is going to be a Cassidy ban.
Yeah, I think that's interesting too. That will make it easier for Luna to dash around on the Tracer, but I think Mario
True.
and Parasite both have pretty decent hero pools. Parasite, he's been in this league forever, also known as Aeon. He's been absolutely goated on hit scans in seasons past. Mario has been playing, I believe, usually the flex DPS. We've seen the Genji, I believe some Venture. I think some sim action on some maps just for funsies.
A sim ban could have been really good here.
Yeah, I think the hero pools are deep enough that this might be decided here with the cast ban. I think that was good for what SDA are good at, especially Luna. Absolutely terrorizes on the Tracer.
Banning the cast definitely makes Luna's life a lot easier, especially versing Parasite, a very well-known good skin DPS player. But it's also gonna, and we are on Gardens first. This is a really good point for Tracer, not as much for Genji. There's so much more open space on this map that Tracer has a lot more easier time covering than Genji does, compared to like Genji on Night Market or hell, even Control Center. And so Tracer is going to be really strong here.
Okay, and we do have a hog being flashed here. We're being teased a little bit. Will we see a hog pit?
We're being trolled. We're being trolled.
I don't know. I'm kind of down to clown.
Mainly of unbiased. Yeah, we were being trolled.
Eli Vader's gonna want lock the new character Wu Yang Kiriko backline. Both teams setting up TPs. Luna swapping over to the Tracer, Mario onto the Genji, and now both teams meet in the middle here. Andrew falling low, going in on half. Ditto commits bubble. Both teams poking back and forth, and Eli Vader is gonna find Yellow with the first pick. And Agent Gibbs gets taken out looking for a cheeky boop, and this is just going to be cleanup here on the side of SDA. And that's a clean first fight out of SDA.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew gets demac'd halfway through the fight, and then unfortunately it's just cleanup from there. Not really much to do from... Really good fight by SDA, though. Wu Yang able to put out a lot of ranged pressure.
Yeah, I really like that they're leaning into the new hero. I don't think he's game breaking, but I think in the right circumstances he's great, and I think he's going to get value here. As I say this, Monkey following.
He's also really hard to dive. He's
Yellow
really
pick
hard to
first
dive,
again.
and that's a pick onto Yellow. However,
coming out. Ditto
Havana
falls, Eli Vader
trading.
falls. And Andrew's still up. They have tank advantage here. This is going to be a flip in favor of Havana.
Yeah. And we are going to see our first flip of hopefully many. I mean, there's really not even much to dissect about that fight. Just Havana played to trade, and they traded well. You trade Kiri for Wuyang Winston, and yeah. However, Wuyang gets found really early in the fight. Elevator not being able to live.
They go in and
it's
get some
cleanup.
picks, but SDA got point flip. Well, Andrew went in, Tracer wrapped in cap, Luna and this Kiriko flip point. They are going to flip it back, but important to note, SDA did eke out some extra point percentage there.
And we are
Now-
inching closer to 2 ults.
Gonna say all support ults are online. Zeke getting close to that rail, but gets picked off early by Yellow. And now SDA have to
Huge
decide if they're gonna go in or if they're gonna get out. And they commit, even though they're down Zeke. The rush being committed. Mario with the blade and rush committed.
Double rush
Mario
with the
falls.
blade.
They're
And
even here.
Genji not
Elevator
finding
falls.
anything. However, trading Luna trying to flip point, not able to find the flip, and Yellow finding the kill on point. And Havana are approaching 70%.
Ditto commits the primal rage here to stall out this fight. Not gonna find anything, but Yellow gets caught out. And now SDA has respawns coming back. They have the numbers in this fight. As Andrew tries to stall it out, Gibbs is back for a touch. And this is gonna be cleanup, but Havana's gonna make it messy.
Yeah. I mean, these extended fights really don't favor Wuyang a lot. His lower healing output it kind of forces him into more of a glass cannon role. Like, yeah, you really do need to end the fight fast, otherwise that lower healing becomes really noticeable.
It looks like we're 2 ults into 2 ults, but Gibbs has that beat. I think is going to be the decider for this fight here if they use it correctly. Oh, and Parasite gets absolutely ajaxed. Agent Gibbs able to find one, but picks are coming out messily, but in favor of SDA. They have time for one more fight, but Andrew's going to get staggered here. A brilliant stagger.
Parasite also switching over to the Sombra, and the Sombra gets barely saved by Yellow with the Suzu. I don't
Ditto
think the
and
Sombra
Luna.
does touch here.
Posturing up to try and stop the touch. But Parasite is going to get it.
Gets caught by Wuyang orbs. That's unfortunate.
The beat comes out, but Havana only has 3 members here on point, and they're fighting in a Kiriko rush. And Gibbs falls.
The
Andrew able to
Wuyang
get
passive healing keeping Zeke up for a lot longer than the dive was supposed to get them. And Andrew, just its last minute touches if you're Havana here.
And that is going to be
And that's
the first portion of our control map going in favor of SDA.
yeah, that's Gardens going in favor.
Now, what do you think you do to open this up if you're Havana? How do you swing that back your way? Because there was back and forth all throughout the map there.
I think you need to prolong these fights. I think you need to out-sustain the Wuyang Kiri comp, because if you rush at them, they're gonna kite and then they're gonna come back with all their cooldowns. So if you prolong the fight any other way, but it really makes that lower healing from Wuyang Kiri a lot more noticeable, because Wuyang doesn't really do a lot of healing outside of the passive orb.
Mario finds Zeke, but Yellow goes down first on the side of Havana again. Oh, and Ditto gets a cheeky little force off the map. But as I say that, Andrew boops Ditto off the map. The picks are going back in favor of Havana here. Recall is forced, and Andrew is on the Wuyang. But gets demeched. The Lucio healing not enough to keep Andrew in mech. But the flip still goes to Havana. But if you're Ditto here, you want to look to go in while Andrew doesn't have mech.
And
He
that's
does,
exactly
but
what they're
it's the
doing.
remake. As I say that though, Yellow and Parasite fall.
The pulse
Luna-
unfortunately misses, and Mario Man's going crazy on the venture. Mario Man's does end up dying.
Falls, but Andrew's still here to stall it out, and Gibbs able to stay alive, playing very, very well. Oh, but the flip comes out. Gibbs and Andrew able to stay alive. I say that though, Mech's falling dangerously low. Getting cared up. The beat engage out of Gibbs and Andrew. Zeke falls dangerously low. The rush is committed. The Wu Yang on the Zeke stuns Andrew, and Zeke finds two. And Andrew's gonna get staggered here again.
And SDA are taking the lead on Control Center.
Disrupting. Railgun powered and ready to fire.
Parasite switching over to the Reaper from what hero he was playing. Can't remember exactly, but
Was on the Soj.
and so the
forced.
dive catching Mario Man's trading for an elevator.
And the juggle coming out from Ditto, not finding anyone, just stalling this point out. I say that though, he's hunting Gibbs and is forced to jump out. Might still get picked here. Andrew wants the exit frag, but he's able to get out. And now we're looking at a rush and a Ventral on the side of Havana, and it looks like SDA only has DPS ults on the board. And Veritas falls early. Mario commits the ult, and it looks like Havana's just gonna stuff this.
Someone's flipping. Luna's flipping point.
Agent Gibbs is on the case, able to mark it.
On point again. This time it's Yellow looking to stop it. A third time, this time it's Parasite and Agent Gibbs looking to mark this Tracer, get them off of point. And this Tracer's just being such a pest.
Yeah, honestly, they're committing too much attention. I think the Lucio or the Reaper alone could mark it. But the rush comes out from Yellow. They're playing forward. And Parasite is
catching yeah. That rush engage catching them so off guard.
Yeah, I think they played that perfectly. Because even as they rushed, Luna was still trying to split the attention. Parasite just anchored point there. And do they get a touch? Luna is cheekily trying to get a touch above point. And finds a stick on Mario. And the touch comes out. I will say though, they did use 3 ults to get it. Both support ults and the Tracer pulse bomb. But Gibbs beat as well. And again, Andrew dying last, very late.
Oh yeah, that
gonna-
stagger is really gonna hurt.
You're not
especially
gonna have
because
your
Andrew
tank touch.
has bomb as well. So yep, they're gonna amp, and they do end up getting a touch, but I think if you're Havana here, you might unironically want to go for...
Veritas and Zeke fall. This is big numbers inside of Havana. Ditto's down bubbles. It's just Luna and Eli here.
Ooh,
And Andrew's not playing it.
Eli almost getting the touch. However, Luna does end up getting the touch, and we're going to one on our control map. This time we're heading to Night Market.
Yeah, and I like the adjustments that Havana made along the way there. I definitely like Mario off the Genji. He was not finding the value that he needed against that Winston comp. And even now with the Zarya swap, I don't think Mario's gonna want to come back to the Genji.
Yeah, I mean, the Venture was working really well on just even versus Zarya, because Venture can burst before Zarya can double, and so it is kind of. And Zeke switching over to Freya for Night Market.
Yeah, that is one of his pocket picks. He does like the Freya. And as I say that, Zeke finding Yellow, the opening pick. Yellow has been first to die in a lot of these fights. And we see this as Andrew gets demech. There's no sustain with the Kiriko dead. And it should just be cleanup from SDA here.
I also forgot to call it out, but Eli Vader switching off of the Wuyong onto Brig. Probably to help versus the dive of Venture Diva.
Now, SDA is just set up to poke in the choke here. They got Zeke sitting back on that angle, trying to do as much damage into these tight corridors as he can. And that's Suzu out from Havana, and Andrew gets demech. The Zarya is just high charge, beaming. Ditto falling low, but getting healthcare. Yellow finds Eli, but Agent Gibbs falls. Now it's Mario pressuring point for the flip. And kills Luna. Might be able to get Zeke here too. No, Ops to help fight frontline.
Parasite falling really low.
Yeah, this fight's just too
Eli Vader
messy.
gonna be able to
Havana,
clean up the Reaper.
They need to let this go. They are super staggered right now.
And Andrew is a little bit staggered, even catching the wave respawn with Lucio. Actually, did they?
Yeah,
they did.
And there it is.
Andrew's switching over to Ram.
And they're walking into a lot of big ults here. You have Grab, you have the Bola. Both support ults pop simultaneously out of SDA. And a Grab, that's a... And Bola for some reason.
That's 4 ults, but this is last fight,
This
so...
is the last fight.
If you can kill this Venture, that's really huge.
Oh, the Lucio
Or the
falls out.
Lucio, that works too.
Probably their only chance.
Because either way, it's still ults. Venture gets a touch, but nobody gets second. And that is SJ with a very strong Night Market. And SJ going 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, that's going to be the first map in SDA's favor.
Havana played extremely well on Control Center, which I think shows that they're better on some of the more enclosed maps, right? Because that really inhibits SDA's dive. So you might want to go to like an early flashpoint here. Maybe Saravasa, if you really want to throw off SDA, you can go New Junk City and really allow the Diva to thrive. Oh, and all that speculating is out the window because Havana picks Circuit.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't want to read too much into some of the hero picks here, but I do think Ditto just having a broader tank pool is going to work wonders for SDA. Because he can play the rock, paper, scissors game all day with Andrew. If Andrew wants to go Diva, there's going to be a Zarya. If you ban Zarya, that's fine. Ditto could probably just go for the mirror, or again, you have Luna, you have Zeke, they're both flexible. They could swap to the counter picks. I mean, you go Ram. Honestly, I'm not sure how great Ram is this patch if you don't like run a coordinated brawl with him. He can't get away with as much murder as before, holding block and right click. So Mario and Parasite would will definitely need to play off Andrew if the Ram is the route they're going to go.
To be fair, that was always the way Ram should have been, not just hit right click and never die.
No, I mean, absolutely. But with the nerf, I do think Havana takes a hit from that. I mean, Andrew has been a respected tank for a while in this league. But one thing that has remained evident is his hero pool is not the same as other tanks. It's kind of limited, and I think it kind of showed on that map there. I think Havana really felt it.
Especially on Night Market, after the Zarya switch, and on a more open map, D.Va was not getting as much value. And weirdly, Zarya was just outpacing the D.Va.
I also want to point out Yellow. We saw the play of the game there. Great at playing the aggressive Kiri, but I think caught out way too many times too early. Definitely too many first picks, right? Yellow has definitely been a target for Zeke and Luna. I mean, just hunting basically Yellow in these poke exchanges before the dive or the brawl really begins.
While we were yapping, we do have our bans. Havana banned Sig on this map. And SDA in response banned Genji. I'm going to be honest, I don't like either of these bans.
I respect the Sig ban because I don't think Andrew had. This is a Sig map. I know prior to this, Sig kind of fell off on this map just because Ram was so strong. But now I think between nerfs, new perks, etc., Ram could definitely run circuit again, I think. And I just don't think Andrew's confident enough in his Sigma to mirror it into Ditto. Like we see it in the chat. Ditto saw the Sigma ban and said rude. So I kind of get behind the Sigma ban just because if you're going into circuit against someone who knows how to play Sig and you don't have the Sig player, Ram is now sort of in a state where you probably can't walk him down as freely, you can't live forever on these long angles, then I could get behind the Sig ban.
The Genji ban, however, that's a little more questionable.
Yeah, Genji on Cirque, I'm not sure.
Unless it's a target ban for Mario Mans, but like, why? We are going in. SDR are going to be defending here. I think the comps are really going to be interesting, especially out of Havana. Like, we know they're going to run the D.Va, but what are they going to run for Mario Mans, right? Venture is not good on this map, except third point. We are going to see a Mei outside of Mario Mans with Andrew switching over to the ROM. Agent Gibbs, both Elevator and Agent Gibbs showing the Wu Yang as well, with Parasite hitting Widow as well.
Yeah, Parasite, again, one of the renowned hit scans, gonna look for this Widow matchup into Luna's Ashe and Zeke's Freya. We've seen Parasite get it done season after season, but having to fight against two... I don't even know if you want to classify Freya as a sniper. It's just absurd burst damage. It is long range. This might be hard if he doesn't take these duels carefully.
The Ram Mirror, however, the Ram Mirror is in favor of Havana here with the Mei. We're mirroring support comps, which is very interesting.
Oh, Parasite with the opening pick on a Veritas. And we see the slow and the wall come out as they try to walk down Ditto, but Luna answers back, finding Parasite. They're even now. Luna falls.
Andrew
Mario falls low, forced to block.
Ditto Web caught out in the open. Wuyong heals are just barely enough to keep him alive.
Andrew was too overzealous though, got picked. SDA is gonna be able to stabilize here, especially with the tank up. Ditto's gonna be able to play this corner until Andrew gets back.
You actually have burned like a fair amount of time on that first corner as well. You burned a minute, which is pretty ideal if you're SDA here.
This is good though. Andrew just got back and Ditto used all of his cooldowns. He doesn't have form. He's just gonna get walked down here.
Ditto gets walked at. And SDA is gonna fall apart rather quickly. That's Bola, but Zeke
Bola-
dies for it.
Yeah, you probably want that one back.
I mean, it's
with
essentially cooldown, so like, is it really that impactful? You get it so frequently, you can just kind of throw it out whenever.
I mean, Luna swapped too, so now that did kind of mess up their ult economy. I know it was just Bola, but now Freeze comes out of May here. Luna falls. Veritas gonna get caught in it, and so does Eli Vader. He gets Ajaxed in the mail. Massive value out of Mario Man.
Oh my god, they did use... I didn't even hear the voice line.
Yeah, that's Wuyong ult canceled. And now again,
That's
we just
huge.
have huge ulticon in favor of Havana here, as they're pushed up, looking to hold close, play off this May wall.
Sometimes in cases like this, you wish Ram was still unkillable when blocking.
Ditto committing the ult.
However,
and
the
gets melted.
Wuyong ult,
The Wuyong ult
the
on the
Wuyong
Andrew.
ult, keeping Andrew alive.
And Andrew gonna clean up
And
with his
that's
own
a
ult.
good point.
And a very respectable time bank going into third point here.
5-minute time bank going into third.
And we see
Although
a
it is
swap.
circuit third, so like anything
Multiple
can
calls.
happen, right?
Yeah, circuit.
True,
Most
ditto.
escort maps notoriously hard to cap on third point.
We are gonna see an Orisa switch from Ditto and a Hanzo switch from Luna. Tracer also not historically great on this map, so I see why they're not on it. However, Luna does have Hanzo has a lot of burst potential, and so Andrew just gets melted from storm arrows and spear.
Yellow commits that rush after Andrew dies. Parasite finds Luna on the exit but gets picked. It's just going to be a clean sweep in favor of SDA for that fight. And Parasite swapping over to that cast off the Widow.
To be fair, the Widow did get its value.
It did. Now we
The
see
Widow
both-
won several fights.
No, absolutely. But opting for the cast here in this last stretch of the map. Havana tries to
It is a
rotate
little
height.
closer range.
Ditto, unsure of what to do, if he should wrap or not. Luna forced to drop off height.
That's a huge DPS combo though. It forces Mayblock, and that's a Blizzard too.
Oh, and Luna with 2 being able to sustain through all that damage because he got the Wu Yang ult. And this should just be a reset from Havana. They need to back up here or they're going to get staggered. Luna is hungry for these picks. And we see that. And Veritas gets Parasite. And now, again, we're staggered. If Havana pushes in here, they're down 1.
Almost down 2. However, Mario Mans does end up reacting in time, and Andrew has no form, and I spoke too soon. Mario Mans does end up dying even earlier, so this is another reset for Havana.
They need to respect these angles and actually get a clean reset here. We have ults on the board on both sides. Ditto forced to gold early, falling dangerously low. The rush comes out.
This Terra Surge.
Terra Surge finds yellow. Both support ults
Leon
use,
ult.
but Luna
And
finding
this is a
too.
very scrappy fight
Very
that Luna
scrappy.
is very much saving.
I was gonna say, and already we've seen it time and time again. We had 5 minutes and 30 seconds in the time bank. We're down to 2 minutes already.
Good old Circuit Third, my beloved.
And Mario opting for the Venture pick here. This is interesting. There are long angles here, but Venture could definitely police this high ground here if they play it correctly. I say that, and Luna just gets absolutely wicked on him. Mario, toast.
So, yeah. Still on the Venture after that disaster. Cass, both DPS, found dead in the streets on the high ground. Bullock does end up coming out, and we are going to see Havana get to the second corner again, and Andrew's just taking too much damage. That's a ram ult, and Andrew dies before getting any real value. So does Mario Mans.
Yeah, I feel like we're just watching Havana bash their heads against a brick wall. They do not respect
That's
the
just
angle.
Circuit Third, though.
Yeah, but they could play this better. Like, they're not waiting to make the rotations. They're literally just AFK walking it down main and eating all this poke. And both support ults used out of SDA. The picks coming out in their favor, though.
And we're approaching final fight if they even get a touch at all. Andrew did switch over to the Hazard. Wow. Oh my god, the Wuyang utility. It's going to stop them from getting like a touch at all. The
Aeon
Tracer does
desperation
end up
touch.
getting
Mario
a touch.
able to clean up, and the Bola comes out, but Mario Man's gonna live. It looks like SDA may have blown their load too early. As I say that though, Mario just
Double
decides to feed his brains out. What am I watching?
Oh,
Zeke with
is
two.
just... Ooh, Wuyang using ult on himself, going deep into the backline. Veritas so close to dead. Andrew's gonna have to try and capitalize on that, and it's just not gonna work. You got it very far if you're Havana. I am getting word that an Hanzo ult was cancelled earlier in the map. Not sure where, but... Oh. Ooh, interesting. So, definitely an interesting thing. Happened right before Andrew switched on third point to Hazard. The Hanzo ult was cancelled, which is something you're probably not too sad about. It's really just a zoning ult, so...
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still speechless. I have no idea what happened. I know it's Circuit Royale third point, but Havana has just shut their brains off. I have no idea what's going on. We're dying with ults. We're playing Venture into miles and miles of open space. I don't understand. Yo no entiendo. Someone please help me.
We'll get you some help soon.
And Ditto opting immediately for the Orisa, and Luna rolling out on the Widow this time.
Just Orisa mirror at this point, Andrew. Please. Just Orisa mirror. It's gonna make your life so much easier. Oh, I just remembered. Another Ram nerf is that the Ravenous, like, Vengeful Vortex, that perk no longer stops all horizontal momentum.
Mario forced to block. Might get cut out here. Oh, a good wall, though, saving himself. And Andrew's looking to form onto the back line. Losing armor, falling low, but Mario finds Luna, and Andrew's going to be able to maybe get stabilized here as Ditto gets walled. The Mei is paying dividends again. And that's going to be first fight 1 out of Havana as both teams go back to posturing and poking. Oh, and Hanzo might be caught out here. Andrew looking for the pick, misses him though.
It's an interesting use of Juno to play her with Wu Yang.
No, I think that's actually
both of these heroes.
I think that's the combo. Unironically, there's been talk left and right, but I got word from the official Minky Horse Guild owner that Wu Yang is a main support, and he does combo quite well with Juno.
Ooh, interesting. I mean, it makes sense. Both of those heroes you really want to play fast, and if you really think about it, Wu Yang is just another Zen with better healing and better mobility. And a slightly worse ult, but...
See, I think with the Juno, it enables the ult. The speedering, you could pretty much put it on anyone to get aggression, like to get aggressive value out of it. As I say that though, we have a rush committed. And there it is. Oh. Oh, Parasite commits the Sojol, but after 3 fall on the side of Havana. And that's Zeke with a 3K, mopping up a lot of what Ditto did there with the Orisa ult.
SDA finally breaking through that first corner. Really impressive hold from Havana.
Okay, we have a Forest swap out of Parasite.
That's actually not a bad idea because they don't have like a true hit scan to punish it.
Ooh, that's a good dragon. Andrew,
It stops the Ray from getting... It stops the Ray from getting any initial value. However, the dragon not lasting long enough in that Ray area, and the Ray getting too much value in the later end of its cycle, just allowing Havana to run over SDA.
Oh, and Ditto's gonna fall late here. That's big.
And Luna is switching over to the Soj off of the Hanzo. And Veritashing from the carry over to Zen.
They only have Zeke's ult on the side of SDA. Might be able to get this Wu Yang ult. Oh, but Zeke gets picked.
Oh, that's...
Now Andrew has Ram ult. And they're not even gonna get a touch yet.
You don't get the touch. And that's Havana full holding SDA on Circuit Royale.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Havana fan, you're absolutely happy seeing that after the travesty that was pushing third point on attack.
Yeah.
And there it is. Luna play of the game, ladies and gentlemen.
I do think Havana played that a lot better. It is a longer range map, yes. But they staggered out the fights, and when they played Juno Wuyang, they played very, very aggressive. And they just overran SDA did.
Yeah, and I do want to say, I do like this Juno Wuyang backline. It enables aggression, you could play fast, you have good burst damage, but even though Wuyang ult isn't necessarily as good as a beat, as a transcendence, you could use it defensively, right? You don't always have to run in. You do get the overhealth. When the bubble explodes, you do get that little bit of burst healing. You could use it as a tool to stop a dive or mitigate aggression coming into you. So I
Mm.
think even though that was more of a poke heavy map, I think it was really cool that Havana picked up on that and they used that backline.
And as we were yapping, SDA picked Suravasa. I think they're gonna protect Vanna Tracer. I think that's the only option they have. And you know who would have been the perfect ban here? Genji. Or Venture. Venture also works.
I was gonna say they did pick map, but there is a slight delay here. They may be contemplating what they want to ban here.
They could also be contemplating whether they want to swap in Doge or not.
Yet Doge has not seen the light of day yet, leaving the roster locked. Same with Havana, Bagel taking a backseat for now, as both teams try to navigate their way through this best of 7 series. I mean, we're tied up 1-1 here, and again, bans are something we want to think about. Do we want to rip these band-aids off now? We're 2 maps in. Do you have plans?
And they decided against. They did decide against putting Doge in. I think because you burned the Genji ban, I think you might want to ban Venture here.
And there it is.
Because you, yep. I'm just too good. It protect bans the Tracer. You can't ban Genji, which would be the only other person you would ban here. Both of those characters are really strong in this map. Genji is able to abuse a lot of the burst that you need on this map. Venture, really good on every close quarters map. Servas is one of them. Just a really smart ban in general. I don't see a downside to this ban. Plus, Mario Mans has shown that they are willing to play Venture.
Yeah, now I guess we have to think about what we want to ban on the flip side if we're Havana.
Do you just you might want to ban the Juno here. Actually, no. You probably don't want to ban Juno.
I was gonna say, maybe is it time to commit? Is if Andrew's dedicated to running a tank, looking to ban one of his hard counters on the tank in the tank matchup?
Is it worth banning the Tsar or Ram? I mean, if you look at that map pool, there are really no other maps that you would want or particularly want to play Ram on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's up to them, and they're taking their time. They're thinking this through. Trying to think if there is any other maps.
Maybe
could...
Rialto?
Yeah, I think that's it. I don't have the pool here pulled up here, which is on me, but yeah, I think you're right. I think Rialto is pretty much it.
I mean, the other two are like Nepal and Oasis that I can really think of. Because you don't really want to play Ram on Eichenwald, Hollywood, Midtown, or Numbani, right? Because for many reasons, you just don't want to do that. Push is a lot more dive centric, especially if you go to New Queen Street or Runasapi. And we are going to see an Orisa ban. I think you might have been onto something when you said like hard counter, because I do think Andrew wants to play Rom on this map.
Yeah, I think they're finding more success on the Ram. I do think even if we ban heroes like the Zarya, even though I still think Diva, I still think Diva is absolutely a sleeper pick this season. I know earlier I saw in the chat a certain Dragon Master rambling about perks. I must say, I dislike your take on the game. I think the Diva perk that tightens the spread is absolutely crazy for nuking targets. I think with a backline like Juno Wu Yang, you can absolutely be running it down on squishies. You're not playing to survive long, especially with that backline. You're not trying to have sustained fights. You don't need the defense matrix perk. You're trying to blow people up. I just don't think Havana has practiced it or have the coordination to pull it off in this setting, at least right now.
Yeah, well, to be fair to them, the patch came out like Tuesday, so.
I mean, true. But we are Overwatch fiends here at United Rogue Overwatch. I know quite a few people who have already spent way too many hours in scrims. So, I mean, it's doable. It's doable. But yeah, I think they're better off on the Ram here.
I do like all the changes they made to this map. The changes made it better for sure.
Yeah, I do like the updated spawns. And I do like the tweaks they made over on, I don't know any of the point names, but they added the wraparound to the coast between the 2 points on the one side. I think that's super cool.
From ruins to temple.
Yeah, from ruins to temple. I do think the wraparound's cool. And yeah, here we do see the Winston coming out off rip again, which makes me wonder, is Mario gonna roll the Genji?
Switch Tracer. We are seeing Luna switching over to the Tracer.
Mario's sticking the sim though. Okay, this is interesting.
The approach that both teams are taking, I think, is really indicative of how their comps would like to be played. Because if you're looking at how SDA is playing, they really want to set up on a single target.
Oh, Parasite finds Zeke
and
though. Oh, but Luna with the cleanup.
That's a huge trade. And Andrew ends up going a little bit too far. And this is just trade city here.
Oh, Ditto able to sustain. Gonna be the tank left alive.
However, SDA did cap very early with the pick onto Parasite.
I'm gonna be honest, both teams poking here. I don't like either team's backline that much. As I say that though, Ditto's in, committed, but gets flashbang. Parasite finding him. Mario over onto the Tracer gets picked off by Zeke.
Luna constantly annoying this backline, the cast, making it very difficult to exist though. Yeah. And that is going to be a Havana flip.
Havana flip, a 3-piece out of Parasite here. And they're going to chase it. Oh, no, never mind. I spoke too soon. Wu Yang is going to be able to shift away. But Zeke over peeking Parasite. Parasite feeling himself. Oh, the pulse committed, but Parasite times the roll. And Andrew falling dangerously low. Gets the Wu Yang ult. Looking for a stun here. Finds the Wu Yang elevator. Blown up. Bola committed, finds nobody. And this is a scrappy fight, but Havana's coming out on top. And now much of what we saw on third point, Circuit, SDA is doing. They're just kind of taking too much poke and walking it down main before the fight even really begins.
And as you say that, Havana are actually in the lead. Not only are we tied in the series, but they are gonna, this is final fight for first point. Ult wise, Havana's in a better spot here.
Oh, beat
Your
committed.
Kiri can't die with Rush though.
Parasite finding one, but the picks are going to come out in favor of SDA, I fear.
Yeah. Your Kiri can't die as they pop Rush, and your Tracer can't die 94 to pulse.
Yeah, they do have one more
If you're
player.
Havana.
A lot of ults used on both sides, but they're going to be walking into Ditto with Primal. It's going to be huge for sustaining and possibly disrupting Andrew's ult here as he tries to walk in.
And stalling as well.
Yeah, they're taking too much poke. I don't know if they get a touch here. It's going to be a desperation touch out of Mario, who does get it. And Parasite finds Luna. Andrew popping the ult to keep presence on point. Ditto going to be forced to Primal. This fight looking scrappy. Yellow and Eli fighting.
Yellow.
Able to get healed though. Flip comes out. Monkey contests. Gibbs falling dangerously low. And Luna finds Mario. Monkey's in. Gibbs getting pressured off point and hunted. The Bola
Yellow
committed.
ends up dying to the Bola. And this is a fight win for SDA.
Yeah, they played that.
And SDA are going to get first point. And we're
so
going to Temple
well.
next. Are we gonna Athena? Or are we gonna announce the next flashpoint?
Nope. I was gonna say a lot of things are
Okay,
broken. in this
new
patch.
bug.
Announcers, maybe
A
one
new-
of them.
new bug. Anyway, so we're gonna be going to Temple next. Veritas ends up getting found out of position. Elevator also found out of position. Young ult able to allow Andrew to really just push super aggressively.
So the sustain there was big, and first flip going in favor of Havana. And I like this Eddie Yellow playing on top of that little temple there, potentially baiting a jump here out of the monkey.
Not only that, also possibly baiting some shots out of Elevator as well. Which means the poke will not be as strong if they are trying to also worry about an off angle. And that's rush
coming
pop
out.
from Yellow.
But
The
the Wu
Young
Yang
ult.
and beat.
Zeke ends up finding a lot of picks in this fight, and this is just Yellow ends up catching the wave respawn.
Okay, I need to say something now. Everyone in the chat, I don't care if they're doing it and it keeps working. If you play support, do not double support ult. Please stop it. SDA has done it almost every single time in this series and is driving me up the wall. That is all. Ooh, but Zeke,
That's a
finding an
huge
open
pick.
on the Gibbs. Yeah, that's just going to be a fight reset. And point percentage if you're SDA.
Yeah.
Oh, Mario might get staggered here. Does Luna with the cleanup. Gonna say Mario not gonna catch the wave respawn.
However,
What?
it's a Tracer.
it is
You
Tracer.
can't really stagger a Tracer. This is a huge
plus
stuff the
wide.
choke moment.
On a Primal out, Luna finding Parasite, Primal finding Gibbs, Ditto all over Yellow.
Havana just unable to break through that choke. They do get the touch, but it is not a flip. And SGA going 2-0 on Saravasa. We are going to, I want to say, Garden? Okay, why Athena announced Garden, but not Temple. What the hell?
And there's gonna be some picks here on the rotate to point. Eli Vader looking to get some value and does find Mario. And despite the
Young got a kill.
yeah, despite the early picks going in favor of Havana, the sustained fight goes in favor of SDA. I say that though, but Parasite finds one. finds 2, and Andrew's going to be back to clean this up potentially. The flip does go to SDA, but with the rush, Andrew's going to be able to walk the remaining members of SDA down. And it's a quick flip back in favor of Havana. We did see Mario swap off the Tracer onto the Genji.
The Genji might work a little bit better, especially if you're looking to burst through Wuyong Lucio. Or you get
And
picked early
with
fight.
that said, you over-aggress and get rolled. Andrew has ult though, and Gibbs does have beat.
That is a ram ult.
Committed. And the beat is committed in response from Veritas, and Andrew gets burned.
Good news, we didn't double support ult because we didn't have Wuyong ult.
Yeah, thank heavens. I see everyone in the chat saying double support ult meta. Listen, guys, you can layer support ults. You can layer them. Both of your supports running around like chickens with their heads cut off, pressing Q simultaneously, panic ulting. Not the meta. Sorry.
Let all your feelings out.
I will. I'm very passionate about it. Parasite finding Luna early again. And Andrew over to the
Mario
Diva.
Man's-
Again kicks out Mario. Agent Gibbs cleaning up Zeke. Ditto desperately searching for Yellow, but able to TP away.
I want to
behind
point
him-
out, Mario Man's died to the wave, like, reverse perk
Yeah, the waiver first poke
on Wuyong.
is absolutely goated. And we see the ult come out, stunning Andrew, getting the DMAC, and this is gonna be the third and final point in favor of SDA.
There's very little contesting less. And Parasite barely gets the touch. Agent Gibbs dies for second. Parasite has to get a third. Ends up getting it. I don't think anyone else gets a fourth, though. And this is SDA taking serve also 3-0. The current series score is 2-1 in favor of SDA,
And that
breaking
was
the tie.
decisive.
No, yeah, that was a very clear winner. It was clearly SDA running everything.
I was gonna say, I think the little life we did see out of Havana was actually off the back of Parasite. We've seen a lot of early picks coming from him. First picks, opening picks, multi-picks, triple kills. But Ditto is putting work in on this backline of Havana. They cannot stay alive. And Mario, as much respect as I've had for your Genji play throughout this season, I don't know what's going on here. We are feeding a little bit too much. I don't know.
I
if
think
it's-
Genji's genuinely good into Wuyong too, because you can burst him like very
First
easily.
one, you could, use the double jump thingy over the wave. You could wall climb. You could do all sorts of fancy dancy stuff. But it's not happening here, and I don't know if it's a disconnect on timing, if it's a disconnect on positioning, if there's misconstrued target focus happening between him and Andrew. But whatever it is, it's paying dividends if you're an SDA fan.
Yeah. I mean, there is still a good chance that Havana can come back from this, given how close, and we are going to New Queen Street as our push map. I guess I'm a fortune teller. I don't know how I guessed New Queen Street, but a very dive heavy map in general. That first area of the map is just super dive centric. It does allow Parasite, if you want to go Feast or Famine on Widow, you just need to protect the Widow, is kind of it.
Yeah, no, I'm honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know if Havana has the hero pool here, the deep hero pools here, to sort of make the changes needed. I'm not sure. Not for a map like this. I think New Queen Street, there's a lot of options for SDA. They're comfortable. They have deep hero pools. They can adapt to whatever Havana's going to pull out here. So I'm not sure how I feel about this. Of course, we didn't have any bans yet. And we do see our first swap. Parasite is coming out for Bagel.
Interesting choice.
I was going to say, I'm questioning it because I feel like the biggest impact in that game was Parasite. I mean, we saw multiple multi-kills. He was finding a lot of early picks, just to no avail as the backline sort of fell to ash around him.
You would also think Parasite would be a lot better on this map because Parasite is a hit scan. And yeah, this is a dive map versus a dive team, which we can dunk on Havana for that later, but you might need to ban Winston here. Because then it also protects the diva.
No, we see a Freya ban.
Why?
I do think I don't think it's the answer, but I think I see some of the train of thought behind it. A lot of the time on those rotates, Havana was just eating way too much damage, and then Luna and Ditto were wreaking havoc. But I still don't think that's the answer. I think Ditto was getting away with absolute murder on the Winston, and I think no matter what Zeke plays, if Ditto wants to play the Winston, he's gonna play the Winston.
And SDA coming out with the Juno ban, really smart if you're SDA. Havana showed a lot of success on Juno Wuyong, not as much on Lucia Wuyong, so you kind of force them into a lose-lose situation where you play Wuyong without speed, which no, or you just play the worst support comp of Wuyong Lucio, and you have to deal with Lucio Wuyong heals, which that will make Andrew shudder.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't have any answers here for you. I'm sorry. I'm at a loss. I feel like this Ditto Luna Ditto Zeke cleanup is too coordinated. And I don't know if Havana runs a comp or a backline that can address it.
You might have. I think you needed to ban the Winston here.
Oh wait, shout out, we got United Rogue Rocket League rating with 26 members. Thank you, fellers.
Hello.
For showing up.
Hold on, let me look at what their stream was. So I know theirs is ending. Their season's also ending. Week 2. So hello, you Rocket League players. This is Sapphire Finals, which is the mid-tier Plat to Diamond. And it is between San Diego Armada and Havana Hurricanes. SDA are up 2-1 in the series, and we are going on to map 4.
Okay. Bagel is in, teasing us with a Reaper, which I think is real. But Ditto's hitting us with the Uno reverse. He says he's gonna run it down on the Queen.
With the Queen.
He's not gonna be on the Winston.
Interesting choice.
Both teams approaching this bot in the middle. The early wall out from Mario. Andrew leaping in, looking for some follow-up. Doesn't find anything. Zeke forced to low. Forced to roll. Falls low. But Bagel gets taken out by Luna, and she's back on this backline. Zeke finds Yellow. And now it's a 3v5. Mario answers back with a pick on a Zeke. But with no supports, this is just going to be cleanup in favor of SDA.
As the queen decrees.
Are there going to be any swaps? No. Havana's sticking to it.
Nope.
They're going to force this and try to make it work.
I guess you keep the May because they're running Queen, but
Ooh, a big wall on a Veritas. Andrew cleaning up his own wall there. And Bagel forced to fade. Mario falling dangerously low in a 2v1 on cart against SDA's DPS. And even though Eli Vader falls, Havana is going to look to wrap onto this cart now and get the cleanup kills. Ditto desperately trying to take one before he falls. Still somehow managing to live. We need some focus fire on this queen. Andrew eventually getting the kill. And Veritas and Luna need to be careful here. I say that though, and Luna absolutely embarrasses Bagel. Mario looking for some of this action, trying to poke Luna out. As SDA trickle in for a touch. Pulse Bomb coming out. Gets nothing. The Suzu was used, wall used. Andrew finds Veritas. The Queen ult and the Haz ult come out. Luna finds one. Ditto confirms a kill on a yellow. I am not sure about that Wu Yang ult, but it was used nonetheless.
it was to save. It was to save Eli.
Yeah, but you were up 3.
That's fair. I'm just, yeah. I mean, the Wu Yang ult is impactful, don't get me wrong, but you're also 87 to beat, so...
The male comes out. It's gonna fly wide. Does zone the queen, but doesn't fight anyone. Bagel
Both
gets a
of
kill
the
on
ults
Veritas.
have been successfully kited, except Ditto ends up getting into the rush at the tail end of it, and this is another fight win for Havana. We'll see if they can actually increase their lead. Or their cart progress, not their lead, because SDA have lead.
See, both Lucios have beat on the table. We have some DPS ults coming up out of SDA, and Bagel does have the Reaper ult. Veritas falling
You don't
low.
beat for the Reaper ult. You don't beat for it. You just
fall.
take the loss.
And
That
a
is
full
Cass
noon
pulling
from-
high noon.
That's gonna be a fight win for SDA.
SDA not Havana not managing to break past the checkpoint.
And now Eli Vader with their Wu Yang ult back up, putting... Oh, an aggressive beat! And a Haz ult! The beat gets mirrored, only Queen is struck. But they get the Wu Yang ult. It's gonna be big! And now we're back to just
Oh,
clean up again.
I know in chat, people are going to be saying, oh, they double support ulted that fight. What's your response to that?
They did double support ult, but that time they actually sort of layered them. They actually kind of did the thing that time. Oh, and an early stick on Mario.
That's a huge pulse. Wait, was that in spawn?
It was left
No,
side.
that was near the mini. It was
Yeah.
near the mini on left. That's just another fight reset for Havana. And
See that?
Andrew dies here too, with a wasted rush.
Oh, but picks still being
Oh.
exchanged.
Oh?
If Bagel's able to stabilize on this Reaper, he might be
The
able to anchor
Queen-
cart here against the Queen. Oh, and a huge TP into place. I see you, Bagel. And he does. He's able to anchor cart while Andrew gets back. I will say we have had the Reaper ult for a while now. I know it's kind of shaky sometimes when you're looking at a Cass or Lucio. You have boops, but We gotta let that one rip, I think. Could be a win con here.
Oh,
As I say that,
or we die.
gets it. Oh, not the
Ooh,
value I
yikes.
would. Oh man. Yeah, I'm just that one's on me. I cast or cursed it. I'm sorry, guys.
Anyway, SDA have bot control again. That you're really missing the Reaper ult now.
Yeah, surely we have a big blade here. It's not a laggy blade, right, guys? Right?
Surely, right? I mean, they probably get Wuyong ult here. So you have to pop it before they do that, like this.
Blade comes out. Clean up on a Zeke. Able to help confirm the kill on what
Only
looks like
finds
Ditto.
one. Only finds one, but the blade did allow them to win the fight, so...
Andrew chasing Luna, who's able to live, get out. Probably gonna look to go on a cheeky flank. Bagel with an opening pick on a
Onto the
Zeke though.
cart. Ooh, Luna pressuring cart. Gibbs
Oh,
coming
and Luna dies. But Andrew's in too deep out of LOS of his team. Even though picks and numbers are in favor of Havana, they don't have a tank.
No.
Yeah, this is rough. Havana not able to get that checkpoint for the close respawns. They are going to be able to touch bot before STA gets theirs. Zeke shut down out of his own ultimate. The Queen ult comes out, finding multiple, and the downpour comes down, catches Ditto, who gets...
That's a huge Wuyong ult.
It's massive, and Luna with a cheeky cleanup into a double kill. And that should be that fight. And SCA are going to recollect their forward spawns here. And Eli falls first.
Eli ends up getting found. And this is a fight win for Havana.
I think you need to see more of what we just saw there out of Andrew and Mario. We saw a ginormous coordinated hit onto Eli Vader, who pretty much just exploded. Genji dash, hazard dash, you're nuked. You can't do anything. They need to be looking for that, looking for ISO walls and sort of playing off one another. I say that though.
That is why
installing this cart, fighting yellow.
Almost. Oh my god! Wait, they're actually stealing it. Oh my god! Wait, Luna's stealing cart.
I was gonna say Bagel with a huge ult, but no one is helping Yellow. Luna is just too much of a menace for Yellow to mark solo, and they basically
Luna has
just denied
reset their progress.
All progress, yeah. The chance of getting forward spawn absolutely out the window.
How can you let that happen if you're Havana? Like,
I say Gibbs has to help mark the tracer. I think
Zeke ends up getting instantly bursted. The beat double beats to respond with the blade. Ends up dying through the blade, however, trading for elevator.
This is it. You need focus fire here to clean up.
You need to get this Queen ult and fast.
Zeke finds Gibbs. Yellow
Queen ult, please. Yes.
The Queen ult comes out.
Oh god, it's huge. It's so big. And that's SDA. Going 3-1 in the series, taking New Queen Street. SDA pulling very much ahead of Havana here. I think Havana is really trying to do certain things to make this Wuyong just really minimize impact, but they're not doing the right things.
Yeah, and now you're up 3-1 in the series. And if you're Havana, I really think you want to evaluate your pick and ban thought process and even your roster, right? We did see Bagel get some value, but without a cast to help police this Luna Tracer, if you're not banning the Tracer, your backline is just constantly under threat. Yellow was trying their best to mark Luna solo, but most times just had to TP away and give up cart. We've seen Luna pretty much just expertly dissect the backline on the off angle, whilst a lot of the times the main brawl is happening elsewhere. And I think that's something they need to think about. If they're gonna opt in for Bagel to find value on this Reaper into these brawl comps, I think the Tracer ban needs to come out here. We've been sitting on it too long.
I was gonna go on this long tangent about how they should have picked Hollywood and banned Winston, but they picked Nimbani, which was the only other good option. So it's not a horrible map, but and Bagel being swapped out for Parasite on Nimbani from the side of Havana.
If they
Nimbani is a lot longer range, so yeah, this makes sense. What were you gonna say though?
Hold on, everything has been derailed. We have the GOAT, the 2-time of all 2-times, Icy in the chat, the permanent second place UROW longtime finisher, 16-time, I think. Who's counting? Putting it all, betting it all on Havana. If you are a Havana stan, this is a sign. He showed up for you. This is the turning point. Put your rally caps on.
This is your sign to go all in, otherwise the house wins it all.
This is your sign, ladies and gentlemen. If Icy speaks, it's basically put into existence. We know this man could bet on any team, anywhere, except for his own. So this is it.
That is, I mean, best of luck to IC in your gambling endeavors.
Do we have any hero
I
bans?
wish
We do. We have a monkey ban.
Okay, we banned the Winston at least once. I'm not going crazy, guys. You don't need to drag me to a padded cell.
Gonna say, I'm sorry, chat. There is a delay, but I see your shout out. I see Illy too. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're kicking. You're getting signed to Louisville next season. I'll see you there.
Speaking of Louisville, Ruby finals are tomorrow.
True. Tune in again tomorrow. I'll be back here, trying not to pull out my hair as my own team trolls me into an early grave.
I will have to see what it's like, but back on to Sapphire finals, we are gonna see SDA going in for a Kiri ban.
Yeah, I
Ditto
like
again saying rude.
I do like this. I think this has potential. We have the monkey off the board. Numbani first point, notorious for having tricky high ground. You almost default to a diva or a monkey sometimes on this map. Of course,
Especially if you're attacking.
I was gonna say Hazard, also a serviceable option.
Yeah. I think you have to go Haz here. If you're Ditto, I think you have to go Haz. Like, I don't know how comfortable Ditto is on ball, but I don't think ball is going to be really good. because you can just kind of burst the Wu Yang, which Havana have tried, and so they might try it here.
I do love in the chat. We did hype up the rally caps. The money line is looking a lot more even. But I think if you're a Havana fan, this is your all in here. The monkey's off the table. Parasite's back in. You seem to be heating up in that Servasa game. So if the Tracer is on the table, we know we have a cast who can help market. I think this has potential. I think what it'll come down to is what Yellow and Gibbs decide to play if you're on Havana. The Kiri is banned. So I think what they choose for their own backline survivability is going to be what decides this game, really.
You kind of have to go Lucio here now.
I mean, I don't think so. Not if you're on defense first. Maybe on attack you want the Lucio, especially for attacking first point. You can help clear the high ground. You can actually access the high ground through wall riding. But on defense, especially the further you go on the map, it's long angles. You could play for poke. You could run something more poke heavy.
Look at Gibbs' career profile.
I'm familiar with Gibbs. I'm very much aware that they play Lucio, but they also play other main supports. I've seen them play Lifeweaver. We've seen the Brig. So yeah, you definitely could set yourself up in a Brig Juno backline.
You could go on a Brig if you're on defense.
Yeah, on a Brig. We've seen Weaver Bap this season out of a couple teams. I mean, there are different options. Especially, I know some of the changes sort of balancing the tankiness of Lifeweaver, but still could be really annoying to kill in their own right if you're smart with your paddle usage and your dash. So, I mean,
true.
It's an option. We do have a short bio break coming out here, so you guys just get to hear us yap until we get this started.
And if we can't yap until it's over, we will be going to waiting. But so I think if this is definitely Havana's best chance at winning a map since second map. And after this, game modes start repeating, and so we might see a Rialto, right? Which means Ram is going to be really strong on that map. So is Sig. Diva's also historically really strong on that map. But for Nimbani specifically, first and second are really dive heavy points. Third is much more brawl based. So if you really want to run the Bap Weaver, I think running it on second and third is stronger than running it on first, because you can place the Weaver farther back.
Honestly, on second and third, I wouldn't even be mad if Havana pulled out the Juno Wu Yang again. I think it worked.
Ooh,
I think we
that
saw it
could
on
work too.
Circuit. I know it's usually deemed more of a poke heavy map, but they made the fights work. They played the angles well, and most importantly, the backline lived. So I think it's an option. I think it's something that Havana might want to think about, especially for the later portions of this map, second and third point. Because with the Kiri gone, it's the one backline they've seen success on tonight. I don't know why you try to fight it.
And buyer break is over.
Yeah, we're going in.
SG are going to be defending, and so we might see a Wu Yang. I like Wu Yang on this first point, just based off initial impressions. I think he's really strong on these more longer range points. And so he can really play with his corners, and we are going to see Elevator opting for the Weaver. And you're also correct. Havana is going to be opting for the Juno Wuyang with Diva, obviously.
Yeah, I think I like this. I'm not sure how thrilled I am about the Reaper pick. And I will point out, I don't know if we mentioned it just because we've been yapping for some time. Doge being subbed in. We do have a Doge Ashe coming out.
Ooh, true. Doge making his first appearance this series. On to the Ashe for SG's defense. Really smart positioning from Doge though. Just playing this lower corner, this back corner on high ground, while the rest of SDA play that top. Andrew going through the coast side, already starting to cap point, and Doge just explodes.
Yeah, Doge explodes, but Andrew take way too much poke on the engage, gets demeched, and now Mario left up creek without a paddle. Andrew finds one as baby Diva though, but gets finished off by Ditto. Trades coming back and forth, but with a tank on the board, I believe SEA is going to be successful. Parasite finding Veritas. I think they're overstaying their welcome though. I think they should leave with what they have. They got picks. They could take an F. As I say that though, Parasite is greedy, finds Elevator, and Andrew is back. They're going to walk down the remainder of SDA here.
That is such an interesting turn of the fight, because it really I mean, Havana really should have gotten out, right? But they were able to find really good later fight picks, which ended up turning the fight into their favor.
Absolutely.
And again,
no
Luna
money
just
in that.
explodes.
Mario falling though.
This Juno Wuyang backline really showing its strength with Diva. Andrew does not have any perks yet, let alone a minor perk or a major perk. But again, Diva's always been good with Juno, especially when she had the movement bug where they would stack.
Yeah, Ditto falling low.
Ditto.
And the Rays committed.
The Rays a little bit of a waste. However, I understand the thought that you might need it to kill the rest, right?
Honestly, this is a great tempo push out of Havana. I think this could be potentially a cap, depending how they space these ults out here. Both teams having ults on the board. Ditto with the Flux, both support ults for SDA. But we could see an aggressive Wu Yang ult here out of the side of Andrew. I say that though, he's stuffing height while Ditto contests cart from below.
Andrew flanking. The beat
Bob
does
comes
go off. SDA do end up double support ulting.
And notice, chat, how they weren't layered. Write that down. Andrew forced to remake though.
Is this a new Rico gif? Just
It's not-
with the whiteboard with
It's
double support
literally-
ults.
We've been doing it all season, guys. If you've come to a single game that I've cast, I've been flaming teams for it left and right. And here we are in Sapphire Finals, throwing games by double support ulting. Write it down. Tattoo it to your friggin' foreheads. I don't care what it takes. Layer. It's like an onion. They're like ogres. Layers.
I'm Adobe Premiere Pro is going to be used after this. Just you wait.
And Mario finds the elevator, wreaking havoc in the backline. Both
The
supports taken out.
backline is gone.
And the Flux comes out, but finds nothing. Ditto evaporated. And Havana's might just push this in here. They have Gibbs with the Wu Yang ult. They have Parasite with the Bolas. Luna is the only person with an ult. And Diva's just going to eat it. Never mind. Luna's just going to blow up. Doge desperately trying to touch. Force the ice block. The Bola comes out. Doge falling low. Dead. Veritas.
Yellow.
Cut.
Yellow does end up getting the auto perk, which is where you just full auto fire on Juno, which that's just an insane perk. Same with her, I want to say minor perk, where she gets a third jump. Yeah, some of the perks they added are kind of crazy. Although it is going to be interesting to see how Havana defend first point Nimbani. It might be a reverse of what we saw on circuit, where actually, would it be? No, it'd be what would happen on circuit, which would mean we would be going to a map 6. Yeah. Again, Havana having a lot more success on this Juno Wuyang comp with the Diva Freya, just putting on so much aggressive tempo compared to the Sig. I honestly think you need to get off the Sig here.
Yeah, I mean, I do think they're being out-tempoed. I know I've talked about Ditto's flexibility before, but I guess maybe no Winston in the pool? Or, yeah, no Winston, no Diva in the pool. And since Winston isn't an option, trying to lean into this poke comp?
That's not really good into what Havana is running here, and I think it's slowly killing SDA on this map.
However, they are taking the height for free.
Yellow is found. That's a huge rock on Mario Man's all the way from point. Freya not able to find any other value and dies very early. Andrew trying to get out. And that is a 6-minute Nimbani. Oh,
I think Havana just played that fundamentally wrong. They did not set up height. Andrew and Mario tried to wrap the backline rotate with absolutely zero speed, and all of SDA just sped out and took height for 100% free. It was free real estate. I say that though, Mario finds Veritas, and they are going to be able to find some stability while we see Andrew over onto the Ram. And Parasite finds Luna.
I think the Ram swap is also not needed. But like maybe for this part of Nimbani, it's not horrible. But I think Diva in general is just better versus the Sig comp because you can rush the Sig down a lot easier.
We'll say this though, Andrew did make it back to set up on this corner, so the Ram could find value here. And Gibbs with another opening pick as Wuyang.
That's a huge nade though. Andrew
able to live.
Doesn't die to the high noon.
But Mario falls, not after getting Veritas on this Ana though. Swapped over onto the Ana off the Lucio. And we are holding spawn here, chat. Trying to eat away at this time bank that SDA has racked up.
I think you want to go aggressive with Visor and Wuyang ult.
I think we could answer with Mario though. Mario Wuyang ult. I say that though, Luna finds Parasite. And Andrew gets the Wuyang ult, as Luna does too, who gets stunned first, finds no value out of their own stun.
The solo flux onto Andrew.
Gonna die here. Luna finding another. No more hero plays, Havana. No ults here.
4 ults on the side of Havana. A really good ult economy coming out of Havana from that fight. Only using Wuyang ult compared to the 2 ults, I want to say, they used for STA. You still have Ray, but you die. You Rajax. Oh my god.
Oh, we Rajax. The picks are technically in favor of Havana right now, and both DPS are looking to mark Ditto. And Parasite is making sure it's known. It's Havana's cart back up. And Havana is going to make it back in time to fight this.
You do still have 3 minutes to get 10 meters, though.
Yeah, a very respectable time bank. And we do see a huge ult economy on the side of SDA here.
Ooh, Mario Man's going in deep. The high noon catching so many people. And then the nano visor.
Mario just dragging it out, stalling a little bit, but that's going to be second point capped for SDA.
Yeah. SDA is definitely having a lot more success versus the Ram than the Diva, I'd say. And the only reason why Havana lost first point is because they just, like you said, they just played it wrong.
And Luna might get caught out here. Not before they find Mario and able to get sustained. The Bola coming out, doesn't find anyone. No,
the Bola
Luna
allowing Luna to just throw onto Parasite with the silver bullet perk. And I think unless something really major happens like that.
Ouch. But Luna finds yellow. And Luna is just walking on this backline with Veritas. Andrew, I know you're holding W, but please turn around.
No. Andrew refuses to look behind him.
Look, a lot of the times you
pass
do
is
have to
not
trade
needed.
backlines, but after you get 2-3 picks, it's cool to turn around. They do manage
Turning
to win
around
that
is
fight.
for the weak.
Turning around might save your supports for once.
It might, but who needs the supports anyway?
And Luna finding Parasite early.
Okay.
Low as the high noons popped.
We do need to turn around, Andrew. We do need to turn around.
Absolute tunnel vision. The tunnel goggles are on and in full effect here. But we do again have ults on both sides coming out here. A lot of ults close for SC. This is going to be a clash. I feel like we're going to see a lot of cubes here. And the ult on
That's
really,
a huge Wuyong ult.
yeah, finds Doge.
Flux catching both Andrew and Mario Mans.
Mario
Andrew has form. Yeah. Luna trying to get some poke, gets run down up top.
And see, that's
2
what Andrew
minutes
has
left to go.
look for. If Andrew starts at least being semi-aware of when he could mark Luna on these off angles, I think Havana might be able to hold this.
However, if you're looking purely at, oh wow, this is a team wipe. That's a huge nade though.
Big nade.
Really good tempo from Havana that fight. Going super aggressive, really not giving SDA any time to react
We have
for it.
Luna over onto the Reaper. We do have a lot of ults in the bank though for SDA. We're looking at the Nanovisor combo again. We have Wu Yang ult for sustain or aggression. Mario though wins a 2v1 against Veritas and Luna. Now Andrew's there to help out. Veritas falls.
Andrew gets slept.
And this is huge.
Is kept alive.
If they play up here, they can play to force all of SDA's ults here. And no matter what, they will get a recontest for last fight if they hold up here. All you have to do if you're Havana here is force ults and then stack for last fight. Stack your own for last fight.
There is a way to throw it, and that's by using your own ults.
And Luna over onto the Tracer. The comfort pick here.
Comfort pick and a good stall pick. Mario Man's found early.
Oh, Doge falls out of visor. And we Holtz on all ends. Oh, the stun on it.
Elevator ends up dying. It's just such a scrappy fight. Ditto
Oh,
does end up pulling the Terra Surge.
Doesn't get anyone.
Gets
though.
no
Doesn't even
one.
chip anyone. And ladies
Mario
and
Man's
gentlemen,
coming back.
it's just
And Havana are gonna
Havana
hold
here,
Numbani.
keeping the series alive. That's right. If you're in chat, thank Icy. The rally has started. Put the rally caps on. Also, give me my friggin' channel points. I bet the house on Havana. Hand them over.
Oh wow, that's just Luna going insane. And the series is 3-2 in favor of still STA, but Havana are very quickly shortening the gap. Really interested to see what Havana or STA is going to pick here. Again, all the maps that have not been played are now available, so I can actually list those off. It is Busan, Nepal, Oasis for Control. It is Route 66, Watchpoint, Gibraltar, and Rialto for Escort. Eichenwald, Hollywood, and Midtown for Hybrid. New Junk City and Atlas for Flashpoint. And Runasapi, Coliseo, and Esperanza for Push.
Yeah, now this is what I was talking about though. We're 3-2, we're 5 maps in, we're now beyond the point of most regular season games. This is where the bans start to become tricky. Because I think if you're SDA, you've exhausted a lot of your bans, and you probably want to look to protect ban something, because you've tried to take all the target bans off the table already.
You could always ban Diva.
Yeah, you could. But I mean, I think Andrew proved there he's okay playing, like, he's comfortable playing the ramp.
Yes, but that was also Nimbani third, so like if you go to any longer range map, you could just ban the Diva. That minimizes Devo Juno Wuyang, which they found the most success on. I mean, SDA was able to really kind of deal with Ram Juno Wuyang instead of Diva, because the Diva can't just int on you like a Ram can.
I don't know. I'm not.
Ram.
I'm not buying into it.
Said it backwards.
I don't know if they could deal with it. I think they have a chance if they pick like a Hollywood where high ground becomes an issue. But honestly, the long angles, I don't know what's in the water, but Parasite is not playing games. I mean, we saw him put it up absolute fucking work on the fray of that map.
And we are gonna see a Nepal coming out of SDA here. And we are also seeing a roster swap for SDA, which is Doge is going back in for Zeke this map.
Yeah, Doge hanging it up, putting his faith back into the hands of Zeke as they look to close out this series.
No, Doge is going in for Zeke.
My bad, flip it. But yeah, Doge hanging it up, putting his faith in the hands of Zeke. Yeah.
You said it the same way.
Yeah, because Doge is hanging it up, so he's being benched, putting his faith in the hands of Zeke, because Zeke is in the game. Yes or no? Am I crazy? Is that not what just happened? Doge
I could also just be... I'm getting a little bit more tired, and so my memory isn't great, but was Zeke in Nimbani or no?
No, it was Doge. Doge was rocking the Ash, or at least trying to.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just really tired. Anyway, SDR are going to ban Diva. A Ram ban is better, but whatever.
And there it is, the Tracer ban. Havana.
Tracer's good on this map, so... Tracer's really good on this map, so it's not really a surprise to see Tracer banned. Especially if you are going against Luna, who, if you haven't seen the announcement, did win Sapphire role MVP.
Yeah, I mean, Luna has been absolutely instrumental, I think, for SDA throughout this entire season. There's just some fights that Luna absolutely deadlifts or just cracks wide open. I mean, the Tracer constantly being in the back line, virtually uncontested throughout the season a lot of the time, just pays dividends. And I do think Luna earned the MVP there. But the Tracer off the table. Might
And we
open
do
up.
have also the Genji on Havana, right?
We do have the Genji player on Havana, Mario. But I don't know. The Genji not finding too much success throughout the series. There was a couple of moments where we've seen cohesion with him and Andrew where things looked all right. But I don't think finding as much success as they did throughout the normal season. And yeah, we see Mario flashing the Reaper pick and spawn. So I don't think we'll get the Genji.
That's fair. I'd also like to point out there are many role stars on both of these teams. So the role stars on the side of Havana are Andrew and Mario Man. And then the role stars on the side of SDA are Luna, Ditto Web, and Elevator. So both of these all of these players are very good. I know Yellow was also on the form for role MVP as well. Or like role star.
We have SDA opting for the high ground side. Ditto looking to wrap onto these supports though, this backline, but is kind of alone. As I say that,
Catches
Andrew,
Luna.
yeah, finds the Luna. And this is going to be a first cap in favor of Havana. Mario gets booped with an incredible TP back up to save himself. And Havana has them stuffed here on the coast. Andrew falling low, but going to get care. And this should just be cleanup here. Ooh, a cheeky TP and a boop onto Mario. As Andrew and Mario go down, this could be a quick flip back in favor of SDA as they wait for their tank to come back. And yeah, the squishies on the side of Havana are going to let the flip go through. Probably the smart choice.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Havana, you do kind of have to let them flip, because if you don't let them flip, then you kind of stagger out and they get more percentage.
Whole DPS just falling over. A beat invested by Veritas.
Keep Ditto alive? Yeah, I think that's a survival beat. Although, wouldn't you prefer the beat for the Annihilation?
On paper, yeah. But we'll see. We'll see if they can outplay the Annihilation that Andrew's coming up close to through spacing, speed, and their own ults.
I think you needed to rush early.
The Bola committed out of Zeke.
Yeah,
and now from Parasite.
I think you needed to rush early. You needed to rush earlier.
And ults coming out on both sides.
And this is Havana winning their second fight, yes, of this point. And although SDA did get lead, it is 58-32.
Both teams invested a lot.
The
there.
ults are, I'd argue, in probably Havana's favor with the Ray.
Just say Ray is big. Right now, Luna with High Noon. And there's the Ray coming out to stuff this as they go to wrap onto the squishies. Luna should die here.
Luna doesn't get a chance to use High Noon this fight. Veritas has gotten 30% beat charge this fight. That is important, because that means you're gonna get beat next fight.
Yeah, beat's gonna be up. Now Havana looking at a dry fight here. No ults in the bank. Maybe Mario ekes out his Reaper ult by the end of this fight, though.
Andrew, I think, is gonna fall really low here, if not die. Mario Man's only 77 to ult.
Ditto falls. This could be scrappy. Both tanks off the table.
Ooh, Luna falling super low. Ends up dying to Wuyang.
Oh, and Yellow finds Elevator, and Luna's dead, forcing Zeke to commit
That's
the
a
bola.
huge bola.
It's huge, but they took this right into last fight territory.
Veritas ends up getting super staggered. And that's a really bad stagger because Veritas had beat.
Andrew has no supports. He needs to live here. He needs to just hold S. And
that's
he beat.
also a really bad stagger.
Yeah, I think that just lost them the map. No cap on the stack.
That might have. Mario Mans is waiting in a dark, shady corner in a Chicago alleyway.
Yeah, they will have a touch.
Maybe catch.
Might see an opportunity to ult here. No, forces Zeke down. They do have a unified touch here if they want it.
The Wuyang ult to help touch. The beat to keep Ditto alive. The Reaper ult on point. And I don't even know how to cast this. What is happening?
Yeah, it's absolute chaos. Both Ram ults alive. Andrew finds one. Gibbs finds Luna. Andrew falls. Parasite, desperately trying to touch, is way too high in the sky hitbox.
And SDA are going to take Sanctum.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that just was absolute cinema. There's no other way to put it. I mean, there's back and forth that map. I think it really came down to a poor tempo read from Andrew, who tried to push in 3v2 with no supports. The entry pick onto Veritas there was huge, but they needed to wait for their support line to come back. And I think that
I did also notice that SDA probably should have rushed a little bit early one of the fights, really to set the tempo and catch Havana off guard.
Okay, but we are
going to see. Yes, and Elevator getting caught out.
Oh,
Veritas is falling super low. So is Luna.
Yeah, Mario is doing a great job of marking these squishies. Does fall, but not after Havana cleans pretty much everyone up. It's just going to be Veritas, who is going to get out here. Should. Yes, does. And again,
and Havana are going to get initial flip. We are going to see Parasite eking out more bullet charge than Zeke is, which makes sense because Parasite was on the winning team for the first fight.
Andrew going in deep here, maybe a little too deep. Falling low, Mario gets punished. They are still holding this.
Luna's going main. Luna's going main.
But they are on cast. They're not
point
on the tracer. They could get rotated on and caught out here if they're not careful.
They do stay on and flip the whole thing. The bullet shot to kill Agent Gibbs. The ram ult to try and chase the back line.
And they do find
end up chasing.
3.
Andrew should die here. Yeah.
Yeah, a big flip there from Luna. I don't really know how that works when you're playing a hero like Cassidy. Havana's support line just needs to be more aware and sort of corral Andrew. They're going too deep. They opt for the low rotate on the point, and Ditto gets blown
instantly
up
dies
before finding any value.
Andrew's also falling really low on point. The Wuyang ult to save Andrew, the boob to keep Andrew away.
And Zeke finds Parasite, but falls low, and we commit a double beat for I don't know what. I don't know what that beat was. You want that one back? I promise you want that one back. Zeke gonna get staggered here.
You also probably want the rush back as well.
Veritas absolutely staggering themselves. And they're chasing this. They're stuffing this. All right, now this is where they need to stabilize. They're not holding a choke here, and they might get caught out for it.
Luna's going on an off angle again.
Mario Man able to get
Is
two
marked
somehow.
by... Ooh, is marked by Parasite. Pulling her that high noon. Luna should die here.
Low. And the Ray
We do
comes
get the
out.
touch, but the Ray just cleaning up this fight. And a very dominant submap from Havana.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're Havana, that's just textbook. That's how they need to play the comp. I think after that initial fight where they wrapped, where Luna wrapped and capped point, they sort of realized that they can't let that happen, and we saw it there. Luna tried it again, paid the price for it. Luna doesn't have the luxury to off angle that hard on Cassidy, right? As long as the supports and maybe Parasite look at Luna shouldn't get away with that realistically ever. I say that here. And do we have anyone actually stick to the sim, or are we just TPing? I kind of
Nope,
like it
we're just
either way.
TPing.
Just TPing. I'm down to clown. We have SDA though getting there first by a long shot, but we have Havana staging for this high ground
Lucio
instead.
speed. A really interesting positioning from Havana here. I'm
And
not
Mario-
sure why you would want to go the height here.
It worked. At least off Andrew does fall, but the cleanup is there.
It
They saved their
it
speed
worked
range
and
from
you get the
engage.
first split. That's really good though. Like saving that speed ring.
Yeah, the speed ring was up for the engage. They used that high ground, and Mario TP'd in the back line. They used the high ground to help scout and mark a target there, and Andrew and Mario just ran through the squishies. And we do see
If
Ditto
you wanted to be
over
really nerdy,
onto the Orisa. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. If you wanted to be really nerdy, Yellow could have quickly switched to Lucio, and after taking TP, went over to Juno. If you wanted to be really nerdy.
True. We do see another fight win though out of Havana. They're racking up this point percentage, and it looks like we have some ults in favor of Havana. Veritas is close to that beat though. That's going to be detrimental to this fight here, I believe. Parasite shoots the bola into the spin.
Both bolas coming out.
Zeke lands the bola on Andrew, and Andrew gets deleted. This should be clean up here on the favor of SDA. And it is. Parasite falls, and Agent Gibbs just pulling out a little bit of Saul here. That is some respectable point percentage, though, in favor of Havana. And now the big ult fight's about to happen. We're coming up on the Reaper ult. We're going to have both support ults out of the side of Havana. Veritas holding on to that beat. Luna holding a great zoning tool in their hands.
Ditto is also... Oh, that's a... The Blossom
good
gets
pick.
countered with the beat, but the beat is too late to save Luna.
And the damage is done.
And,
These picks are coming out in favor of Havana. It's just Ditto left on point.
The alt economy is... I don't... Ooh. An early Wuyang ult onto the Orisa, onto the tank. And then Andrew committing Annihilation.
This is cleanup. This is Havana's map. And they take it decisively. After that first point fumble, Havana comes back, and the series is all tied up. 6-6. We are going to a map 7, ladies and gentlemen.
I caster cursed it, didn't I?
No, I think Havana just figured it out. And now I'm gonna speak a very, very cruel thing into existence right now. If
What are you
SDA
gonna say?
bans Wu Yang, they win this series.
Ooh,
That's
that
my
is also
prediction.
true.
If they ban Wu Yang here, SDA wins. If they don't, I'm telling you, whatever channel points you have, put it all on Havana. That's the inside gambler tip right there. I'm telling you, put the house on black right now, baby.
I do kind of agree though, because Havana struggled on non-Wuyan comps. Wuyan comps. Like they tried the carry Lucio and it wasn't working. Plus, SDA has more flexibility in their support roster than I think Havana does. And so, yeah, Elevator does want to play Wuyang here, but if it's going to help you win if you don't play Wuyang, then I say just ban Wuyang.
I, honest to God, dead to rights, think that's the answer. I think if they don't, I think Havana might eke this one out.
They've tried banning the Juno, they've tried banning the Diva. Only banning the Juno worked, right? And so the only character left to ban in that trio is Wuyang.
But let's see if they're keen on it. Let's see if they pick up on it. Of course,
They could also just throw us a curveball.
They could. I mean, maybe they are the ones in the game. Maybe they're seeing something that we're not here. They have a different idea in terms of what they're feeling pressure-wise from Havana, what they think is the piece. I mean, Mario's actually been putting work on the Reaper. Do we see a Reaper ban here? I that's something that could be up in the air. We've seen this man run into the backline with Andrew, fight after fight, and usually is good to get traded out for at least 2. So that's an option.
But then
We
who's
could
also
see it.
enabling that?
I mean, it is a combination of the Wu Yang ults and the Juno speed ring. But I think it's just the coordination of having shotguns and Ramatra punch together.
And
that makes it
which character have you already banned if you're SDA here? Juno.
Juno, yeah, but we do know
So,
Gibbs
the
plays
only-
Lucio.
True.
So the speed Reaper Ram is still an option no matter what. But I do think they need to ban the Wu Yang. I'm just saying SDA might fumble here and ban Reaper. And we might see the Genji make a reappearance, the Venture make a reappearance, the Mei make a reappearance. So I think they need to think this one out and come to the Wu Yang conclusion.
That is also probably why they are taking such a long time to choose the map, right? Because which one is going to inhibit Havana the most? At this point, this is match point for both teams, right? We've gone to a map 7. So the only maps that can't be played are you can't play any control maps. You can play Route, Gibraltar, Rialto, Eichenwald, Hollywood, Midtown, Esperanza, Brunesapi, Colosio, Atlas, and New Junk City.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, with the maps left, they've exhausted the target bans on the Andrew. They can't really do the thing where they pick a high ground map now to get away from the Ram, because then Diva's just on the table, right? It's a non-issue. So again, I do think they need to decide which map they're most comfortable playing on, and then B, take the Wu Yang out of the equation.
How about we are going to New Junk City. 2 flashpoints. Interesting. And I like how we haven't actually gone to Atlas since its release.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think community-wise, most people are at least indifferent to Atlas. So I usually feel people have strong opinions about New Junk City. Either people really like it or they don't. Of course, I got a rework. I like the rework. So maybe that's why we're seeing it here.
The rework is good. Yeah. The rework is really good. Plus, if you're SDA, this map is really good for Tracer. And Havana, Tracer, Genji are both really good on this map. They're really good on every Flashpoint map, and Havana can't ban the Tracer. So they
And
are
there
going to
it
ban
is.
Reaper.
The Reaper ban, chat.
no.
Wu Yang is still in the equation. Will the new
Oh,
hero
God.
be Havana's saving grace and SDA's downfall? Or was Mario's Reaper the actual part of the equation that needed to be solved? We're about to find out. And Havana is
We'll find
banning
out.
JQ.
Cool. Just Ram Mirror then.
Yeah, I fear we're gonna get...
And if that doesn't work, switch to Horse. That's how that's going to go.
Again, though, I mean, it might not be as... What's the word I'm looking for?
Cut and dry.
Yeah, it might not be as cut and dry, but I think Mario could easily just swap onto the Mei or the Venture here and sort of pretty much do the same thing that they've been doing.
Genji is also an option. It helps you burst through the Wuyang.
I don't know if I like the Genji. We've tried it a couple times.
Ooh.
I don't think with the Wu Yang,
Hasn't worked.
but yeah, I don't know if I'm a fan of the Genji. I think we put that one on the back burner. That's next season's theory crafting we could play around. This is game 7 of the finals. I think we've seen success on the Mei. We've seen some success on the Venture. I think that's going to be
And the
what
Mei.
comes out here. Yeah, Mei and Venture. Mario has put in work with both heroes throughout the series. I think that's what he's going to stick to.
The only reason I keep saying Genji is because on paper, Wuyang struggles to deal with burst. And Genji's like all burst, right?
No, I agree. I do think you're right. I think there is definitely merit in having a Genji. I just the coordination just hasn't been there. So I think they
also
steer
fair.
clear. I think it's easier to get value out of the Mei or the Venture. At least
It for
for
sure
Mario.
is.
Mario's been making it work. Gonna say we see it in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get wet. Please quote that.
That should be our announcement for the Ruby finals.
I'm down. Someone ping Cool. Cool has been doing some of the prod pings and he usually does something silly. Cool. Title for tomorrow's stream. Let's get wet. It's time to get wet. Write that down.
We're pitching it to Cool in DMs right now as we speak. Anyway, we are gonna see Arista v Ram, and Mario is going over to the Venture.
And we do have Luna on the Tracer, but Zeke did roll out, or Parasite did roll out on the Freya, and give
that's Wuyang dead.
balls. And Luna already wreaking havoc in his backline. And that's going to be a first point flip to SDA here as Andrew falls last.
Ooh, switching over to Juno Brig.
Juno Brig. I almost want to see Parasite just hop on the cast. I think now that the Tracer's back on the table, I think you just put Parasite over onto the Cassidy character. I think he's been doing a good job at least helping Mark
Shutting down the Tracer.
Yeah.
I mean, because Tracer's been a consistent problem for Havana. Like, this whole series.
And Andrew gets bullied into the back line and exploded. Mario finds Elevator, though, but picks come out. Oh, wait, no, Ditto falls. It's absolutely flippable.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I like the comp from Havana here. I think the Freya's out of place.
Yeah, just put the cast in the bag, bro. That's what it comes down to. I don't know if they're going to figure that out,
also, And Juno Brig, I don't think, is enough healing for Andrew into Orisa Freya.
Pulse comes out, goes wide. There is a touch here from Andrew. Mario seeking for a pick on the elevator. Parasite does find Luna, is over on the cast. Andrew finds elevator.
Is able to touch.
The touch is
Veritas
here.
stalling.
Gibbs
And I
falling
think
low.
SDA do end up losing this fight, although you do want that bola back.
And Zeke's gonna fall late here. Maybe? Someone? Okay, there it is. Parasite cleaning up Zeke. And yeah, as we said, Parasite over on the cast, instant fight win there. Gibbs close to the rally. I do think you're right. I kind of want to see him go back to the Wu Yang. I don't think the Brig was needed. I think it was just the Freya was out of place. And we have Luna marking the point, but Mario able to contest. Of course, Havana gave up a lot of ground. Multiple people going back to mark the Tracer.
Luna harassing Parasite.
Oh,
Parasite does end up dying to the Terra.
but the Ramel,
The rally?
is active. Rally comes up to keep Andrew up. Luna again marking point.
Luna trying to flip point, almost succeeding.
Finds
And I think I
yellow.
was... Yeah, I don't... My issue with the Juno Break backline, especially into Orisa Freya Wuyong, is there's just not enough healing. Like, even in the brawl situations, you're just not out healing that.
I was gonna say, Parasite finds two. Gibbs, put the Wu Yang in the back. We used rally.
And we are going to see a Junkyard
And
pull here.
Parasite headshots Luna. Yellow with the follow-up cleanup kill. This does put them in position to have first cap here. But they're fighting this on the rotate. They're going deep for these kills. Mario's gonna die because of it. Andrew falling dangerously low, out of LOS of his healers. Kind of just threw the first point flip into the hands of SDA for free.
And, yeah. Into Havana, actually. The Bola hitting Parasite on his way out. And SDA are also going to get a first cap here.
I was gonna say, if you're a Havana fan, you might be worried here.
I think you have to be worried, especially on this more open point. You really wish you pulled the Ducks or Refinery
Tracer
here.
trades. Good out of Gibbs that'll land that bash. And Mario
The Ventral gets shut down. The stick onto the Brig really hurts. And Havana are really struggling on these more open points.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's the Juno Brig backline.
Yeah, please hang up the Brig. I'm begging you. Luna is too good at outspacing the Brig. Andrew over onto the Diva. I feel like we're just workshopping everything now.
Ooh, I mean, if you're not willing to switch off the Brig, I think the Diva is at least like a Hail Mary. There's a chance this might work, so let's do it.
They are going to get a touch here. The beat committed.
Ooh,
Parasite.
the beat.
High Noon zoning Zeke off the map. Zeke just has to die because he didn't want to die to the High Noon. Oh, the Ray
Ray
coming
to
out.
counter.
Perfectly timed. They didn't get hit by the stun. And this is a flip in
And
favor
raise
of
the fight
Havana.
win button. Raise the fight win button.
Of course, you can't give an inch now if you're Havana. A flip means the second point will go to SDA. They need to hold strong here. Of course, they have rally. They're coming up maybe to another venture ult here, depending on how this fight goes. But Zeke with the Bola activated, if he finds one, it could swing the fight. Eaten by Andrew,
The Bola
though.
gets eaten.
And a big rally comes out, but Mario and Andrew, they're going deep and chasing these kills. I think they need to come back and just burn the Orisa. They do. And Luna, of course,
Luna flipping point,
trying to backcap when all else
or at
goes
least
wrong.
trying.
And she
Luna's
is
doing a
fucking
really good
big.
job.
I was gonna say they need to be keen on this. They can't float here. They need to be decisive.
Luna's
about-
doing such a good job at just putting this point on pressure.
Recall force though. They could get Luna here. No blinks.
Luna has no
recall.
cooldowns.
Able to get the mini there. Sticks
Oh,
Parasite.
the
roll
stick,
comes
but
out.
the pull.
And a potential
Ooh,
Pokeball
Andrew,
here from
Baby
Andrew.
Diva is really low.
Able to get the remake though. The flip
Again,
comes out
an
to
SDA flip.
They-
You do have high noon, but you die before you can use it. Feels
talking-
bad.
Might have fed for the kill though.
The
He's in
speed ring
back line.
coming out.
No one's looking at him,
Agent Gibbs
though.
falling really low.
Yeah,
And
Gibbs falling
Elevator
pretty
has Wuyong ult.
low. Please don't.
You don't
William,
want to
no.
double support ult here.
You don't need
Save
it.
it for next. Save it for next point.
Oh my god, STA did it. They didn't. They didn't double support ult.
Don't double support ult challenge. Impossible.
I am
And
like,
I
genuinely so proud.
the ducks. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to the ducks, which is the new purple themed one.
All right. This next point is do or die for Havana.
This
could
point was
be-
changed a lot.
It was. And a big zoner
Pulling the
coming out
high
of
noon.
Parasite. Able to get one. And that's two. Three. Mark that a point cap for Havana in the books. And we have Luna on this Tracer looking to contest, at least make it scrappy. And recall gets forced, and Luna is back to resetting. I say that though, and they're keen to chase her down, and Luna falls. That's a huge pick. You're not gonna have to worry about your backline being pressured if SDA chooses to walk on this. And actually, they're not gonna choose at all. Havana's looking to go in. The Wu Yang ult comes out, gonna be able to sustain, no stun found with it. Zeke in a 1v1 on an off angle against Mario. Andrew coming to help. They do find the pick. Rally comes out to sustain the Orisa ult. Rage at no, gets it
Ray.
off. Does die. Of course, Luna flipping point again, uncontested, but picks swiftly coming back in favor of Havana.
Ooh, wow. That whip shot
was
allowed Havana to keep point.
And what did we use there? We used both support ults on the side of Havana. Yeah, I guess I have to yell at them too. They weren't quite layered enough for me not to yell at them. You guys are fired. But we do have Mario with the Venture ult and a potential Poke Bomb here. If Minky's in the
Luna
chat, he's
flipping again.
Ooh, Eli Vader falls first though. Mario dies with ults. And Parasite getting pressured. The Pulse Bomb flies wide, misses. Parasite gonna get help here from Yellow, still falls. Oh, and no touch comes out just from the pressure exerted there by Havana. And that's gonna be a point for
And
Havana.
we're going to Refinery, the other enclosed point on this map. I mean, if you're SDA here, you have to win on an enclosed, right? It's just... And that's gonna be difficult, but it's certainly doable.
I don't know. Gibbs is coming close up to this rally again, and I think if Mario stops feeding and actually uses ult, this is a super winnable fight. I say that. Ditto committing the Orisa ult.
Yellow gets caught in the Orisa ult.
Oh, and
You
we
might want to
trigger
get that
for
rally back.
Down two. I don't know, chat. Please don't remake. Unless you find a pick. No, Gibbs falls. Okay, yes. That is a fight win in favor of SDA. And now they have both support ults on the line. Pretty much everything but a
Veritas
ripple.
is a late kill from the side of Havana.
Yeah, this is big. If you're Havana, you want to aggress off them, they're going to be down beat. Mario's going in alone. I'm worried, chat.
With the Venture ult, that gets instantly pushed into a corner.
But Mario
The
lives.
second bullet gets eaten.
Yeah, that's big. Gibbs
Agent
falls,
Gibbs
though.
found again. Wu
Ray
Yang
comes
unable to
out.
be killed. The Ray not being a fight win button. SDA still holding on to Zeke, even though Zeke does in
Veritas
fact
falls.
die.
I think we're gonna see a flip here. Yellow Falls, no support on the side of Havana. They need to focus.
Ooh,
fire the
wait,
same
you
thing.
need to go down. Ooh. Okay, but I think that's really good for SDA though. I mean, you get it all the way to almost 80%.
Yeah, they used a lot of ults there. Andrew's still holding on to this bomb, has it for remech to help maybe self-sustain. Mario started fight with their ult, back up to a respectable 55% ult charge. Parasite's gonna have a zoner noon coming up. Gibbs, the closest support to ult right now. And two
Ooh,
picks
SDA getting
instantly.
caught in the poke.
Mario falls though. That's gonna be big, but Luna picked
Oh,
off the Parasite,
okay.
and that's big. Especially if Ditto falls here. Andrew wants the kill and finds it. That's absolutely massive.
Luna getting caught by the silver bullet perk. If you don't know, the silver bullet perk is essentially a piercing shot that also applies the bleeding status effect. And so it is
Yeah,
a one-shot cooldown.
They do. Luna's
But
scouted early though.
Luna
And
Luna
dies.
doesn't get it. Ditto gets it though. The parasite catching
Takes one.
Zeke. However, almost catches yellow.
His points
And
gonna
it's
go
just
to
Ditto alone.
Havana too. And they only used high noon. So we're heading into
However-
last point, ladies and gentlemen. This is as close
The
as
bad-
it gets.
Yeah. The bad part for Havana though, this is an open point. This is a more open point. Those
Yes.
those last 2 points are more closed, which is where Junibrig really shines. This is where Wu Yang Lucio shines. This is really scary if you're Havana. I mean, pulling 2 in a row was very unlucky.
Luna's off the map. The Wu Yang ult gets used. Mario falls a stun on Andrew, but has the remake at his disposal. The Bola comes out
And I think
goes way too wide, finds no one.
I think you're really seeing just how much of a problem this point can be for Junibrig. Even though they're winning the fight,
Wait, Beat, hold
It's
on. Beat just got
costing a
used in
lot.
array. We're trolling. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that was support ults being layered. Write that down. As Havana is going to eke out a fight win here, I think. Yeah, that's 2. And they have staggers to chase if they want them. Veritas is going to make it out, though. Expensive on both sides.
think
though.
we're
We've
gonna-
seen Bola, Pulse, Beat come out. We saw both support ults on the side of Havana and Bomb.
I think
We
we're
talking-
gonna have to see a dry fight from both teams here.
Parasite and Gibbs very keen on Luna shenanigans now, not letting Luna pull the point too much. Mario able to live. Oh, and Elevator gets
Elevator
picked.
gets
Ditto
caught
is falling
early.
low. Does have the ult, but might get picked before he has a chance to use it. The Zoner Noon comes out, finds Zeke. It's 99%, and it's just Veritas. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've done it. Oh, Zeke maybe left a little early, but that's it. That's yeah. I mean, Havana are your season. What are we? Season 8 champs in Sapphire. Won the series back from a 3-1 deficit. Came back in the 7 map down 2-0 in Flashpoint. I mean, it doesn't come any better than that. It's a picture perfect ending if you're a Havana fan.
Yeah, this was really fun to watch. I may not sound like I enjoyed it, but it was very fun. And Havana for sure deserved this. SDA played very well, but there were very minor mistakes that ended up costing them some maps, right? It's going to happen to the best of us. and SDA are very good, and they deserve second place, right?
Yeah, I mean, both teams fought like crazy throughout the series and of course the regular season and up through playoffs. All the players played exceptionally well tonight. The dice just ended up landing in Havana's favor. GG to everyone, and thank everyone in the chat who came out to support the series, to support your friends, to support the teams. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Are we doing? Does anyone know? I know there's been rumors of post-game interviews. Is anyone getting interviewed before we try to sign us off here? Does anyone know? Can we get a confirm?
I don't know.
Okay, they did do it for Emerald. Let me just ask Andrew who's getting the interview really shortly.
If we are doing an interview, I mean, in my eyes, it's probably Parasite or Mario, right?
Honestly, it could be anyone. I wouldn't even mind interviewing someone from SDA. That was a crazy series. I know it has to be someone from Havana. Oh, who do we have here?
It's me, Stan. I am not available as the GM of Havana to give an interview, but you'll be snagging Andrew.
Okay.
That sounds good. I'm down to clown with that.
Have fun.
Thank you. So, as Ajax or Soupcan just said, we will be interviewing Andrew as a post-match interview. You all saw Andrew's incredible performance in the finals match, and Andrew's in the wrong VC. Ooh. So we are actually ready now. Yep. Hello.
All right.
How was Rigo, do you want to ask it first?
No, go ahead.
How was the series versus STA from your perspective?
It was a fight. Oh my gosh. They did so well, like trying to pressure us all series. Like a lot of like the tickling that like Luna was doing the whole game, just like really like difficult to deal with. But like we found our ways through. We tried to like find what how to like kind of kite around it all and like execute on our dives when we were trying to go for them, and it worked out.
Yeah, and I have a question to ask because I've been thinking about it ever since the new season started. What sort of compositions we're gonna see ran with the new support hero Wu Yang? Was Wu Yang Juno something you guys workshopped or thought about going into this? Was it something that you just came up with on the fly? Because I think it's really strong.
Yeah, Gibbs and Yellow both had actually already put time onto Wu Yang. And we even had a time where we could actually scrim before trying to like do a Wu Yang comp. So we actually had planned this out for a bit and like theorize what we can do with it.
Yeah,
it's really strong.
It is. I think it actually attributed to a lot of the success. I think your backline was just living more. You guys were playing better tempo on it. That's where you guys were really seeing the success. But other than that, I guess I just have to ask, how does it feel? You're back on the podium again, Andrew. After we kept you
I can't believe it.
in Ruby jail for so long, you're able to burst out onto the scene in Sapphire, and you got first on the podium.
I can't believe it. I somehow made it to Ruby Finals 3 times, and I never could like actually finish it out. But it was so close every time. But this time it's a tier above Emerald once again. I'm able to make the finals, and we are able to finally get it. We went to another Game 7 that was so close and so tough to do, but we were able to pull through. I'm so proud of my team. Every player did so much work to get to this. We've scrimmed so often throughout the whole season, trying to like improve and like work on whatever we were trying to like run as a comp, like run like theories on like how we're gonna like coordinate, and it's paid off.
No, absolutely. I think you deserve it. You've been busting your ass in Ruby all these seasons. I do know a little bit of Mario and Gibbs, at least on your roster. I know they've put in hours in scrims elsewhere before even joining Havana. So I think you guys are deserving. I've been saying all season long, I thought Sapphire was anyone's game. I know SDA was the upper seed, but I was at least rooting for you guys all along the way. So congratulations.
Thank you. I do have to do one shout out. I have to do one shout out for Gibbs and Mario. This Gibbs wants me to say, "I'm robbed, please." That's all. That's all.
Okay, we'll take it. And that, I believe, is in reference to the All-Star voting. That's right. All you stinky people who doubted Gibbs. There they are on the podium. So give respect to your main supports when you guys think about voting next season.
Yeah.
But if we got no more questions, we got no more shout outs, I think that's it. So thank you.
Do we have any from Twitch chat is the question.
Twitch chat question.
I'm just seeing a lot of it's time to get wet. So ladies and gentlemen, make sure you stay wet. And I hope to see you guys tune in tomorrow for our Ruby finals. Should be starting 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. EST. Write that down. And I hope to see you all again in Twitch chat, ready to gamble.
Ruby finals is going to be really interesting. It is Louisville versus Chicago. And so I hope you're all there. Unfortunately, I will not be in the booth, but Rico will be in the booth. So yeah, get excited for that.
All right, Saucepan, take us off.